Hello, yes, Srinivas. We'll be starting in a moment. All right, so it's time, I guess, other participants might take some more time to join in. We can get started now. Uh, First of all, again, good morning to people in the morning time zone, and good evening to everyone in the evening time zone. We shall get started. We'll just do a quick recap of what we did, so that we can connect with what we are supposed to cover up today. Uh, we started with the define phase. We and like if I talk about the basic whereabouts, first we discussed about the components in the under the first thing, which is understanding the problem. So we discussed about the various ways we can collect voice of customer. We When we collect that data, which is a raw data, we need to clean the data up so that we can make some inferences, we can take some decisions. So we use affinity diagram to take care of that. Once we have the affinity diagram created, we have a fair, like a simple, cleaned list of all the possible problems which we would be able to kind of work on. And once we are done with that, technically the next thing is what I'd like to do is pick up a problem, prioritize a problem out of that list. And we talked about like various models, so we need to start discussing about them, but we briefly kind of discussed which model is used in which case. So we aren't discussing Pareto chart right now. We won't be discussing it right away. It will be covered in the analyze phase. It's just a tool. So a tool which will help you prioritize and decide, okay, well, this is what I want to do. So prioritization is what we're looking for. This tool will be used only if you wish to reduce the number, the count. If your problem is to just reduce the count, then you go for Pareto. But yes, uh, if you wish to reduce the like fix a problem based on importance, we would be ideally trying to go with a Kano model. uh, Kano model will not give you a clear cut answer. Having said that, you would not get the project out of it. You have to further add on something with the Kano model to get more clarity. But let's understand Kano model, because it's very important to understand the market dynamics. And for that, Kano model will be of prime essence. Now, people do call it as Kano also. Do not pronounce this name as Kano, because it's a Japanese name, the name of the person who introduced this model. Now, technically, Japanese people pronounce this as Kano, and that's how we should be pronouncing it. Now, first thing first, Kano model, we talked about this is the latest version, like how quality is sort of defined and how most of the industries are kind of working on. They are trying to imitate the learnings from the Kano model, how it kind of suggests how we should work about it. Now let's take a very simple example. You want to buy a car, and so in a car, as a customer, you'd be looking for certain features, certain things in a car. So there are any product, any abilities, any product, or for that matter, services. There are three needs that we look for. One is called a stated need of the customer. Stated needs are something which the customer is aware of them and would like to have them as a part of the product or service. So the customer demands these services because the customer likes them. Customer has expectations that your product or service should have those features. These are stated needs, clearly demanded by the customer. Unstated needs. Now, unstated needs would be the one which customers would not even speak about, but you are expected to have them. So customers won't even mention them, but they are expected to be there by default. So if there are certain needs that we are supposed to have, and the customer is not going to ask for it, it is expected that you must have them. These are unstated needs of the customer. And then there are delighters. Well, customers may would not be aware of these delighters. This is up to you. What is that you can offer to delight the customer? So this is at the mercy of the service provider. What is that you can offer to delight your customer? So this is over, like sort of expectations over and above the expectations. of the customer. Customer is not even expecting them. Now, if you can offer this, that's definitely customer will absolutely be happy because you're getting some sort of a lucky draw or like a lottery for yourself. That's how it is. Delighted, thrilled, absolutely unexpected returns that you got. So any kind of services that you deal with or any product that you deal with, your product or services must qualify and should kind of look into all these three major categories. So when we are looking at these problems that we got from that restaurant example, we would like to understand how does this Kano model fits in there, and how can it help me to prioritize. But I would rather, as I said, we can't get a direct project out of it. This I can use at first level of filtering, first level of prioritization can. So, and we'll know how it helps us. First of all, let's have a look at the Kano model image, and we should be able to make sense out of it then. That's how your Kano model looks like. Absolutely simple. Simple stuff, but yes, got a lot of meaning attached to it. So let's get my annotation option. Now, this is this x-axis is a functionality axis of your product or service. If you're dealing with a product or service, say we're talking about a cell phone. We have got a cell phone which has zero features in it. I will keep my cell phone here. That's my cell phone with zero features. If I add some features, this is functionality, so I'm adding features. This is somewhat my phone is 25% functional. Some features are there, about 25% features are there. I add more features. Here my phone's become 50% functional. It's sort of halfway working sort of thing. I add more features. This is where my phone becomes 75% functional. This is where my phone is absolutely functional. So completely functional product that I have. So 0% as we move from left to right, with the functionality gets better, and here it's fully functional. So if we're dealing with a product or service, the service is 0% implemented, 25% implemented, 50%, 75%, and 100% implemented. So this is about the product quality, service, whatever we deal with. Now, that's about the x-axis. Then this is the z-axis, z-axis that we talk about. Now, this is where the customer is dissatisfied, absolutely disappointed with your product or service. This is the satisfaction axis. Now, as you move up, the satisfaction gets better, better, better. Now, the customer is sort of satisfied here. Not happy, satisfied. Just satisfied. Well, is not complaining. Having said that, he's not even saying you're great. So you're sort of neutral, not happy, not dissatisfied, midway, uncertain, undecisive. As we move up, the satisfaction gets better. Now the customer is becoming happy, happy, happy. And then here the customer is absolutely thrilled, delighted. So the satisfaction axis goes this way. Kano model is all about these three curves: this curve, and this curve. Now, this curve is called basic curve, basic or minimum requirement curve. So let's try to understand all those unstated needs are going to be put in here. Whatever the customer is never going to mention about that, this is what I want, are the basic needs. Basic needs will be the one customers will never mention. They're expected to be there in your product or service. The first curve, which is the base curve, is called basic need curve, or you can say minimum requirement curve, or or for that matter, you can say unstated needs. Customers would not even mention them. Now that's a funny curve. Funny curve. Bottom line, we're trying to figure out. We're going to segregate. No decision has been taken. Same set of problem, but we're trying to segregate, bifurcate them into three major groups: stated, unstated, and delighted. So which features, which problems we will be putting under basic. These are those features, if present in your product or service, will go unnoticed by the customer. Customers would not even care about it. Customers would not even look at it, would not mention that you have got a feature like this. No, it's expected to be there. Well, if you don't have it, you have a serious problem. Bottom line, customers will be absolutely irritated, complaining. So it's a funny curve. I would say this is thankless features. If you have them, customers would not even talk about them, would not mention about them. But if you don't have them, you have a serious problem. Because your business, bottom line, these are those features. If absent, your business, your product or service will fail. Bottom line, you must have them. So if your customers are complaining about something which can fall on this curve, which you can put on this curve, and if they are basic features, then you must work on them because your business existence is at stake. It's this is a threat to your business. If customers are complaining about something which is basic, you must fix them first. Again, forget about being market leader. First of all, ensure that you're going to stay in the market. That's what we're going to look at. Basic features. The cell phone we're talking about. Well, say I get into a like a store and I want to buy a cell phone. Uh, Now this salesperson walks up to me, sir, we've got a new phone recently launched, amazing phone. It's got like 100 megapixel camera. It's got like 30 days of battery backup. It's got 16 GB RAM, and God knows what not. Absolutely unbelievable features. Amazing phone. Well, sir, we just got a small problem. We can't make a phone call out of it. Well, you can't send an SMS. Well, I'm sorry, that's no longer a phone. Well, well, that's what we're talking about. Basic features. These are the features which make the product a product or service a service. These are minimum requirements. Well, if I have a phone, if I'm able to make a phone call, will I ever tell this salesperson, well, thanks, you've given me a phone. I can make a phone call. Never. It's expected to be there. If I check into a hotel and if I see a bed, I'm not going to pick up a phone and say, well, receptionist, thanks, you gave me a room and I have a bed there. No, never. You don't have a bed, then technically you have a big problem there. So these are those features which must be present and will if they're present, customers will not even talk about them. But if you don't have them, you have a problem then as a business owner. So you will first of all find out what features are there, what complaints fall in on this curve so that you can prioritize them. You got to segregate them first. Second feature, the second curve is called competitive. We'll look at it. Let's kind of put the names. Competitor, competitive curve, performance curve. You can say these are unidirectional, one directional, and all those names. And then these are stated needs. Customers will specifically demand that, well, I need this uh, in the product or services. Well, bottom line, these are directly proportional to customer satisfaction. If you provide these, they will be happy, else not. Simple as that. They're expecting you to provide these features. Well, these are those features with which uh, customers compare your product or services with competitors. We would like to be a market leader on certain features. Like probably say, if I talk about best camera phone, my intent when I'm looking for a phone, my preference is best quality camera phone. Well, probably then I will compare all those phones which are available in the market, given my price range, which has the best camera quality. So I would like to be a market leader on that particular feature. If you cannot provide that kind of feature, well, probably 64 megapixel, whatever megapixel, well, then probably I would not even consider you. So yes, these are those features which customers would demand. Any features with which the customers compare, these are those features which will fall on this curve, like your battery backup, screen size, camera quality, and all those stuff. That's what will come on the curve. These are directly demanded by the customer. uh, like you buy a house, you want to buy a house, you want to construct a house, whatever. Would you ever tell that, well, we should have walls, should have a floor, we should have a roof? No, these are basic features, they're supposed to be there. But when you get in there, technically would demand, well, I need a wooden flooring, I need petrified tiles and all that stuff, anti skid stuff. Well, I need some sort of closet and all that stuff. I need a AC, and I need all that stuff. Bottom line, you know certain things and you're going to ask for it as a customer. If you don't provide them, the customer going to be really unhappy. If you provide them, they will be happy. This is what the customers are demanding for. And finally, you have delighters. Delighters or exciters. Now, so first of all, just quickly have a look at the competitive curve we're talking about. Competitive curve is this one. This is the competitive curve or performance curve or stated needs. Now, if you have a certain feature, if you don't have a feature the customer is looking for, the satisfaction goes down. If you add some of these features what the customers are looking for, your satisfaction increases. This is the satisfaction. If you have more of such features, the satisfaction is better. Have you add such of more of such features, the satisfaction gets better. You give all such features that customers are looking for, customers will be thrilled. So bottom line, this is directly proportional. Can you, if you can provide everything that customers are looking for, customers are going to be really happy. If you don't, pretty much you lose the market. That's how it is. Competitive. Now, these are delighters. Absolutely delighters. Now, this is a funny curve. Now, delighters, these are those features, if offered, will be, the customers will be very happy, delighted, excited. If not, nothing changes in their life as they have no clue about them. Well, they were not even expecting them, so they will not have any disappointment. These are exceptional features. Well, I checked into hotel. I've been a frequent traveler because of my trainings. So I checked into Taj Resorts, and these guys actually gave me a free upgrade because of my travel history. Free upgrade to a presidential suite. Well, that was a absolute delighter. Unbelievable. Well, no charges. I didn't even ask for it. I would not even ask for this in my wildest dream. I'm sure how expensive is that, but well, that was free upgrade, and practically that was delighter. Now that's what we talk about, delighters. If nobody would have offered me, well, nothing would have changed in my life because I had already booked a suite which I would have used, but and I had no idea that this is also possible. Now, technically, this is what Kano model works on. So you categorize things on three different categories, and then you try to understand this is what I need to address first. This is my biggest pain. Otherwise, I will be out of market. When I am covered with these, then I need to look into the performance when I would like to be market leader, and then make a big deal out of it and be probably just like ensure that we've got customers following loyalty by offering delighters and all that stuff. Now, the biggest reason why Kano model is used, that it is a dynamic model. Dynamic model means it changes with time, and it helps you understand the changing dynamics of the market, how the customers are changing. Everything changes with time. Delighters, after some period of time, will become competitive, and competitive will become basic feature. Everything changes with time. Now, I checked into another hotel. Well, I now know this is possible, so I'm going to demand the other hotel guy. Well, I was surprised once. Well, you can't keep surprising me with the same old ideas. Now, as a customer, I know a free upgrade is also possible like this. So next time I'm probably checking with Leela, and I would say, well, you don't give me free upgrade. Well, Taj gives me free upgrade. Well, I'm expecting that now. Well, if I go to Taj again and if they give me free upgrade, is that going to be an exciter? Absolutely not. Well, this time I'm expecting something more. That is given. Last time you gave me, and if this time if you don't give me, you have a problem. I'm going to complain about it. I will have my share of like regret about like why did I choose you? But yes, this time expecting something more over and above. So the delighter is one-time surprise. You can't keep surprising me with old ideas. Bottom line, I need something fresh, something new as a delighter, unexpected. Now it is turned competitive. I will demand as a customer. Now, competitive features become a basic feature over a period of time. Like let's take a simple example of a cell phone. When we used to talk about cell phone, the image about like say 10 years back or so, it used to come like, okay, we talked about a cell phone which is a like keypad phone or a touchscreen phone. Well, that was one basic thing. Are we talking about a camera phone or a non-camera phone? Now when today we talk about a phone, the first thing comes in the mind is a touchscreen phone. Simple as that. A phone which has a camera in it and an absolutely great camera. That's my basic requirement. A phone which can support WhatsApp, which can support Facebook and all those features. That's what I would call as a phone. That has turned into a basic requirement. Gone are those days when we were talking about whether your phone has a camera or not. Whether that was a competitive feature, no, it is a basic now. Things have changed. You can't sell a phone in the market now, try to be market leader which cannot support a WhatsApp, Facebook, camera and all that stuff. Well, gone are those days. So that was a choice at one point in time, but it's no longer a choice. It has turned basic. You don't have it, you will be out of market. So this is what it helps you with when you're collecting data. When you collected, say, data in the month of January, and you've done some survey, and you've got classified certain things. When you do a similar survey after 6 months down the line, things would have changed. Industry is changing, and that's how you try to keep as like you continue to check what's changing in the market, what are people looking for. That's how you get to classify them and ensure you get to learn what is that I need to change in my product or service, what is that is the need of the hour. Probably I'm still working on the old traditional methods, market is demanding something else. So given the fact we know what is kind of model, I will try to kind of understand which one out of this will be a basic feature, which one is competitive, which one is delighter. Having said that, there's nothing called wrong or right answer here. It's all about what you decide as an organization, as a group of people who will be leading the project. Is do you think it's a basic? It is minimum. It is your discretion. Probably somebody else is working on a project, might be thinking other way around. Again, you be ready. Whatever you decide, you will be working on that. So if you decide that something is basic, well, then you will work accordingly. If you decide it's competitive, then probably you will not prioritize it upfront. Well, then you pay the price. Bottom line, then you did not understand the market dynamics correctly if you do a wrong selection. But there's nothing called wrong or right. Have a look at it. We have got these problems classified, and we would like to understand which one are basic features, which one are competitive, and which one are delighters. So I'll get my chat back here. uh, People are complaining that your food is not tasty. What would that be? Basic, competitive, delighters?
Basic,
Basic.
basic, basic.
Absolutely yes. I will be out of market. Services are not good.
Basic.
We can have difference of opinion. Well, we compare that also. Well, yes, it is basic without any doubt. But yes, we can have difference of opinion, which is fine. Basics, it can be basic. Some people might say no, we compare services also. Well, that restaurant has a better service versus this one. We compare services, but technically this is a minimum thing which we must have, otherwise we'll be out of market. Yes, I will keep that as basic for now. Hygiene, I'm sure nobody would debate on that.
Of course,
Basic.
basic, man.
Yeah. Waiting time, well, that's what I would like to kind of
Competitive.
competitive. Yes, people compare. Well, I would not like to go here. It's got like 30 minutes of waiting time. You go there. Competitive, yep. If the food is good, you're great, well, people will wait. So that is not because of which you will be out of market. Yes, you got to be good enough for that so that people can wait for you. People, but that's a competitive. People compare this. Behavior of the staff, well, I'm sure nobody would like to have any discrepancy here. Behavior of the staff.
Basic.
Ba- Basic. Well, I would not like to be insulted by someone. I am after paying something. Change of the chef. Well, probably we like the previous chef. We don't
Com-
like it now.
Competitive this one.
Competitive.
Competitive. Yeah, probably now like this guy has gone and we don't like it. Let's go to some other restaurant. Well, competitive. Variety in the menu. I'm sure this is
Delighted.
uh, basic. No, like
Competitive.
competitive. We compare, right? Uh, Billing error. People
Basic.
Basic, basic.
basic. Absolutely yes. Lack of standards.
Competitive.
There's lack of standards.
That is basic if you
Basic.
count it
Basic.
as
We gotta
a
have.
quality.
Yes, quality. Quality of the food, basic again. We can't compromise there. Ambience is not good.
Competitive.
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 Competitive this
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely.
Competitive.
Absolutely. Competitive. Parking facility.
Maybe
Competitive.
delighter. But
Delighter could be one time, but competitive. We compare. Well, this gives me
okay.
free parking and all that stuff. Overpriced. Again, these are all competitive. Without any doubt. Overpriced. We compare. Low portion. They don't give me discount. That has given better discount. Bottom line, we get this classified. Well, this doesn't give me the project yet. It just helps me filter it out. Now, project selection will have a lot of role, like management will have a lot of role to play. The management is not here right now. We're doing with the team, we're doing with some process experts. We're just trying to collaborate and find out what needs to be done. So the entire team, relevant people of the organization can get together and try to find out, uh, at least let's do some level of filtering. We might have a lot of them, so we'll do first level of prioritization. That's what we're trying to do. At least we know which ones are basic, which ones basics you can't just compromise. Technically, there are certain things where I cannot do anything with Six Sigma, but at least I have a list of all the things which needs to be addressed, so that our customers are happy and their concerns are taken care of. I can't help you with your behavior of the staff. I can't probably, well, hygiene. Bottom line, you're into like hospitality industry. You got to be hygienic and simply. But yes, there's certain things which I can definitely work on, and pick them as Six Sigma candidates. Certain things which just needs to be fixed by the regular process stuff. Process owners, just go and get them fixed. I can't help you with your ambience. It's not good parking. Not well. These things you got to look into. But yes, certain things can be filtered out. First thing first, basics must be addressed. If as a group we feel, well, something out of competitive also needs to be taken to the next level where we finally going to be selecting, here we have a big list which we trying to kind of filter out and make a manageable number. So with the Kana model, what we're trying to do is just bring it down, like a funnel approach. Now, give me one quick second. Yeah. Okay. Well, practically, Kana model will just help me get the first level of prioritization done, but will not help me with the project selection. It is not yet there. So yes, we have to use some sort of assessment method, some sort of numerical method to select the project. This is just going to help me uh, prepare before we get the relevant parties engaged in the project selection. So we've done some bit of filtering. We've got the basic ones, and if at all, as some of the subject matter experts nominate that, yeah, we should include this competitive. Also, it's a very important one. We can include. So there's no hard and fast rule. It just helps me filter it out. At least you should have done some bit of work before you hand over everything to your management and you look into it. No, we don't want to do that. Some bit of work has been done. Now, once you've done your Kana model, well, let me first of all ask you: are we good with the Kana model? Any
Yeah, general ideas clear.
Okay, perfect. Now, once you've got this basic stuff done, then technically you need some base of number-based method to select the project. So you can use anything. Having said that, you can just start with these number-based methods. You can skip the counter model also, and there's no need. But I would always try to kind of club them together. But yes, it's your choice. You can just pick up these methods where you directly select a project. So ISO 13053 is the model that we can work on to select the project. Let's have a look at how this model looks like.
Sir,
And
can we continue Kano model for that example? We just classify there to finish it up, or that's it? That's
that's
finished.
it. That's it actually.
So how we convert this to a diagram?
No, so see, again, this is like how we've got this, and we can plot a diagram on a like a PowerPoint and just
Okay,
mention the
like
problem.
how we change that table to this drawing?
No, so you got to like use a PowerPoint, draw these axes, and then just mention it here. That's it. How like
Okay,
so
so there is no
no
criteria in
tool.
Excel just to do this and get
Yeah,
this
no,
one.
no, yeah. So it's just about like you have to use some of the PowerPoint skills to create this sort of curves and then write down all the basic ones here. Write down. So you kind of segregating them. That's it. There's no other analysis, further analysis been done. So you create a curve like on a PowerPoint, and then you kind of write down the ones which are
I
basic.
thought it's like Pareto analysis of these things.
So you will take it further for like basically just about a classification to
All
understand
right.
what's changing in the market. Probably
So we
last
just
time.
only classify.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we are not using this from Excel or MINITAB numbers to show
No,
this
no,
drawing.
no,
We
no.
draw it ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the next one, which is
So,
the
I have a question.
yeah, yeah, please.
So if we like compare the Kana model with Pareto, so what will be the like difference?
See, Pareto is a bar chart. Like, so technically there we have numbers to look at. Okay, let me quickly draw this for you. Give me one quick second. Let's get the MINITAB in place. Oh, I'll prefer love MINITAB. So I would love to go back to MINITAB. We already have the data. It won't take long for us to get the Pareto in. Yeah, thanks. We already have done the work. So yeah, we can use this. Yes, this is the
I did it
data.
in Excel today, boss.
Okay, great, great. So say these are the problems we have,
Mm.
and these are the number of issues that we have, the count of issues that we got. Let's delete these cells. Okay, and these are count of problems. That's how we got number of problems, count of problems. Let's use Pareto chart. That's how Pareto chart looks like, and simple. You do it on MINITAB Pareto chart. You're going to put type of the problem here. So problems will go here and count of the problems will come here. So problems and count. I prefer not to combine, and we'll understand what combine means. Like, I would prefer not to combine, see everything, every problem. Don't want to combine the small ones together. Okay, that's how your Pareto chart looks like. Pareto chart will be driven by numbers, will be driven by numbers. It is number based. Here, Kana model is not. Pareto chart will give me the project, a problem. Here it is not. That's how your Pareto chart looks like. 80-20, if I want to add, this is something we'll discuss any which ways later. That's my 80% here. And I click OK. That's where my 80% problem lies, cumulative percentage. So I need to work on these sections. So that's my 80% of the problems are right here. That's what we're going to work on. So technically, that's how Pareto chart. Pareto chart helps me to understand the segment of the problem where the maximum problem is coming from. Number. Having said that, the most frequently occurring problem, this is variety. This, as for this, the biggest concern is variety in the menu. Well, probably that may not be the biggest one, as per my understanding. Quality of the food is the lowest, but probably this is very important. Pareto chart will never pick it up. That's the difference, basically. I hope you understand that. Is it clear?
Yes.
Clear, boss.
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Can I do it in Excel and put it in the group for everybody today or something?
Oh, I'm
Because I used to do it in Excel in my job.
Yeah, so Excel, Pareto can be done on Excel, but you can see we will be trying to leverage the technology. That's how it is. In industry wise, people are going to be looking for somebody who uses, like, who will be able to use MINITAB for Pareto. You can definitely share. You have the group. We are already in the group. Please do that. Knowledge sharing is great.
All right,
Absolutely,
all
we
right. I
would
will do
love
it in
to.
Excel and I will share it today.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is 80-20? You said 80% of problem lies in that section. So can
That's
you
yes.
just
Okay. So basically, Pareto chart. But this gentleman, Alfred Wilfred Pareto, I think that was his name, based out of Italy. This gentleman was given a response somewhere in 16th or 17th century. Honestly, I don't recall that. Now, to understand the wealth distribution in the entire country. Now, these guys did a bit of research and they came back with an astonishing figure at that point of time because no such research was done before. Somebody they think wanted to understand the wealth distribution in the entire country. Now they came back with a number which showed that 80% of the wealth was controlled by 20% people. So 20% people were actually controlling the entire economy, and remaining only 20% wealth was with 80% people. So like that's how it is also known as 80-20 principle. When we talked about this one, the types of prioritization here, Pareto chart also is known as 80-20 rule. So 80-20 rule. So what it says in real world scenario, when we talk about problems business, it says 80% of your problem will come because of 20% reasons. Some reasons, few reasons will contribute maximum problems, and lot of small reasons will contribute very less. Let me quickly, it won't take long. Like we already have the data, thanks to let me quickly show it to you. That data will make more sense when we get in there. Okay, that's Pareto chart. Well, probably will be able to make more sense out of the chart, because this is how, this is how we have some postal stuff. Uh, Pareto chart. Let's do a control E, get the reason for postage delay. This is how 80-20 rule. This is how generally a Pareto chart would look like, and we should be able to figure out 80% of the problem, maximum problem, because will come because of few reasons. You don't need to run after every possible problem. It's a prioritization tool. Just helps you to prioritize where to put your efforts. It's just based on number. So 80% of the problem are somewhere here. If I put in 80% here, 80% of your problem are right here. The bar length talks about the height, the number of problems. The cumulative line, this says these two problems together are contributing 72.5. The first problem and second problem together are contributing 72.5% of the problem. The total number of problems, whatever we have, these two together are contributing. So don't need to run the problems. Fix these two problems, your 72.5% of the problem will be done. So it's just about prioritization. Technically, see, you can say that I get these numbers or even on Excel. What's the fun of this chart? Technically, yes. It doesn't get into any statistical approach. It's just a graphical representation of these numbers into a graphical chart. That's it. I hope that's clear. 80-20 sort of thing. Okay. All right. So let's see, where's this Excel? Let's get rid of this. Okay. Now, coming back to the next thing we were talking about.
I put his picture in the chat, in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, please, that will be great. So,
I put it now.
anything.
He's Louis Wilfredo Pareto, the owner of Pareto theory, which is 80-20. I put his picture in the chat
Okay, great,
group.
great. That's good. All right. So
Actually, I am a management trainer and I'm training these parts in my, that's why it's a part of my PowerPoint for my students. That's why.
perfect. Now, so again, say that definitely see there's the industry
Yes,
role.
so I was
There's the
teaching
knowledge.
Pareto actually yesterday in Excel for my students. That's why I was.
Perfect. Well, that's good. So technically, this is all about kind of sharing. So this is the more you
I
share.
will, I will, I will share a video how to do Pareto in Excel in the WhatsApp group.
Perfect. That will be great. Again, it will be good learning for everyone.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So the second one, which we are looking at, so to finally select the project as an option is ISO 13053. Now we've taken this screenshot. This is a screenshot taken from the ISO standard, which tells us how a project needs to be prioritized, how Lean Six Sigma projects they need to be picked up and decide, okay, this is the problem I'll work on. So this is what this screenshot has been picked up from there. Now, should you want to change anything out of this, it will no longer be ISO. This is verbatim. This is standard. This is how it has to be. You can't edit any question out of it. Now, what are those questions? So say we have got a problem of quality, we have got a problem of reducing the average handling time, and there could be more. So we just taken two examples. Say you could add more problems. So we've decided that we have to decide between quality, we have to decide between average handling time. These are two critical problems my business is going through. So as per ISO 13053, which is Six Sigma standard, it tells us there are 5 questions basis which you should decide which project is more important. These are A to E, all these questions. Number one, customer importance. Which one is more important to the customer? Technically, both of them. You have to work on quality also, you have to work on average handling time also. Now, who does this decisioning? This is the time when you will have the champion, the process owners, the subject matter experts, any relevant party who has to do anything with this project will be a part of this particular decision. And technically the champion will ultimately take the decision. Based on what? Based on what? The scorings are done on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 is the best. If it's not that critical, it'll be 1. If it's very, very important, I'll give a rating of 10. So it is a very, very like a debatable thing. Like, what is the meaning? Because we don't have a scale. What is the meaning of 3? What is the meaning of 5? Technically, yes, but based on their experience, based on the knowledge of champion and the process owners, technically, they have to settle at a number. Like and you just can't pass on a buck by saying 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you got to justify. Well, you might say 7, I might say 5. I should be able to justify what's the reasoning behind giving a 5, and somebody should be able to justify why somebody's saying 7. So technically, what are the things they will discuss about? Like, what is the customer importance? How they rating? On what grounds? Well, quality is important, definitely yes. As of now, customer is more like apps more like upset the way like we are probably paying penalties because we had contractual obligation with the client that we will deliver the product or services within stipulated time, which we have not been able to meet, and probably we have not been able to meet for some time, because of which we are paying penalty, because of which we are losing the market share. This is a burning issue as of now. These both are important, but this is a bigger concern as of now. And champions, anyone who likes the top management people, they know what's the current dynamics of the business, and where they want to take it, what the vision of the organization basis that they would try to understand. This is generally picked up and influenced by the more like volatile issues, more dynamic issues, more concerning issues as of now. So this is on the current situation. This was probably the most critical one. This was important, but not as important as this one. So people will come and share the review. We have to settle at certain ratings. Say we're done with this. Next question is expected total project cost. The project cost is going to be a big driver in deciding, are you going to work on this, are you going to work on this. Now, how we can definitely help the management here, we do have some bit of help to offer to the management. So what we can do is we can create a cost table. We can create a cost table, and cost lesser the better. So I'll say 0 to $1,000. And just create, you can create your own scales. Cost lesser the better, so I'll give a better rating, 10. If the project cost is up to 1,000, it's good. Money, the lesser money you spend, the better it is. Say 1,000 to $2,000, I give a rating of 9. 2,000 to 3,000. So I will create a grid, a table, and let the management sit down, brainstorm based on historical evidences, benchmarking, market conditions, and you'll try to assess what will be the rough estimate of the, if you do a project to improve the quality versus if you do a project to improve the reduction of handling time. So based on the evaluated value they will come up with, they can refer to the table and get this. Give me one quick second. It will be taken care of. Let me reshare this. It will be taken care of. I think now it should be fine. Uh, I guess some bit of Zoom IT stuff. So based on these scores, we will be the cost. They can take care of the rating, so they will be able to add the rating to the table there. So this is the project cost part of it. Now this one is again sort of ambiguous, but yes, there are certain ways to kind of look into it. Likelihood of success: what are the chances that you will be able to do a successful project in improving quality, and what are the chances that you will be successful in doing this project on average handling time. Now this is where you got to be honest as management. You got to look at few parameters to decide likelihood of success, the probability of completing the project correctly and successfully. A, the market conditions, the culture of the organization. Are the people trainable? Do you have resources for similar project? Do you have resources who have done a project on quality before? Have you done a project on handling time before? What is the how people are receptive? Like, are people prone towards continual improvement kind of drive? What is the culture? Be honest, and honest to yourself at least. And moreover, you got to look at the current condition of your organization. Probably I'm still working in traditional world, and I would like to become an artificial intelligence company. Well, probably yes, the desires can be any, but let's be honest and truthful, like where you are and where you want to be. So we can have aspirations, yes, but let's be honest and realistic. Given the resources we have, given the funds we got available, given the experience we have in this particular area, which one do you think we will be able to accomplish easily and complete the project? It's not about taking up a big deal. No, it's all about completing the project successfully. So it's there's no challenge we are picking it up. We are just trying to be reasonable here. So based on the current situation, probably it was felt that people to drive this quality thing, you need sort of a lot of time, and probably it's very like we can't just expect overnight change. It will take time for people to improve. There'll be a lot of training. Probably this will take time. Sort of very difficult to improve quality in the given. But we probably have done something around this, and we just need to kind of fix your processes, set the rules and regulations, standard operating procedures, follow up. I think we are more equipped to do this. We have sort of done this in the past. So So yeah, we have more confidence in dealing with this. So probably we'll be able to get the rating here on those grounds. Now, no project has to be done or can be done without the profit decision in mind. Profit, again, we can again help the management, but a reverse table here. Profit, higher the better. So it will be a reverse table. So if my profits are $0 to $1,000 out of this project, it's a bad project. I will give a lesser rating. If my profits increase, that's how I'll give a better rating. If my profits increase, I'll give a better rating. So given the problem that we're dealing with, we'll try to estimate if I improve the quality, how much is that going to impact my bottom line? The revenue margins, the profit margin, how much would that impact? And if I do a project on this, how much would that impact? So given that, I will be able to look at the table and come up with a rating. Now, the final one is a very, very important one. It says applicability to other areas. Now, you don't want to do be like you don't want to do a project which is very, very specific to a particular department, and then you can't use that information, knowledge, the material in subsequent projects, probably some other project. A project is a good project which you can reap benefits from for future projects also. You can replicate, you can copy paste the knowledge, like probably not 100%, but you can reuse a lot of material, which will save a lot of time, efforts, resources, money. Practically, that's what I would love to see. If I have done a say project in operations, I can reuse a lot of material from there, and probably do a project in HR department. I can do it in finance. I can do it in marketing, but say probably in a different location for a different client. That's something which we can work on. But say if I'm working on a project which is absolutely hardcore IT, that will be only used in IT. Well, probably because there are a lot of material which will be irrelevant for other department. Probably it's hardcore. So having said, I'm not saying IT projects are not prioritized, but I would like to make sure that I invest once and I reap benefits again and again, again and again. That would be a better project. You need to optimize your return on investments. So based on that, we try to understand which one will be more beneficial for the organization, which we can replicate easily, or at least reuse as much as we can, more of that particular thing. You create a lot of material during you gain a lot of learnings out of it. You make templates, trackers, standard operating procedures, risk management register, a lot of information which you can reuse in other projects. So technically, you've got some scoring done. Now, what you do is you get the column number F. It says the value in the F is the product of A to E. You multiply all these ratings, 7 multiplied by 8, multiplied by 6, multiplied by 7, multiplied by 7, which will give you the project priority number. So has got highest priority. This has got low priority. Having said that, we are not saying we won't do a project on quality. No, priority. We're not demeaning the other. We are just saying this is more important, more crucial as of now. So this will be our first project. Once we're done with this, we'll pick up the second project. This. Just that, given the current resources, given the current time, we need to do justice with that. Whichever makes more sense, we're going to be picking that up. That's how the ISO model recommends us to select a project based on these 5 questions. Should you want to change questions, then you can please go and do that. Then don't call it as ISO standard. Then it's not the ISO version. So that's how we pick. This is just an option. I could have skipped the Kano model altogether, and I could have brought everything on ISO 13050, which is fine. No problem. No hassles with that. We can do that. Yeah. Questions out of this? Are we good with it?
Can we relate the Kano model with the ISO model?
Uh, See, you can try to understand, like, see, there will be bits and pieces. You might try to link things like basic requirements. Basic requirements we're talking about probably something related to customer. What is more important for the customer? What is the customer shouting about? Probably some of the basic requirements, or for that matter, competitive requirements, will fall in. So it will sort of link in somewhere, but this has got like absolutely different model. You might try to find out linkages, but there we were only talking about customer. Here we're talking about us also. Here we're talking about our internal businesses also. So there are a lot of things covered in here, not one segment. Customer importance, probably just all customer related stuff we can still talk about. This could be a mixture of your basic needs, your competitive, your delighters, but this is all related to your internal businesses, internal segment.
So,
So
based on my understanding, so Kana model will help me like to filter the basic requirements like stated needs, unstated needs, right? But
Absolutely.
ISO will help me to select a project which I have to work
Absolutely.
on based on the
Absolutely. Yes.
priority, right?
100% yes. And
Yeah.
I may skip the Kano mode. Should you don't want to do Kano, I can no showstopper. These are just option tools. You decide what you are the boss, bottom line. You're the boss, you decide what you want to do. Would you like to use Kano plus ISO, or you want to just use ISO, or you want to use something else? You decide. You feel like, yes, I would generally use a Kano plus this one because I want to filter out, understand what's the need, and basis that I will sort of take the most important ones. Just that by personal choices. There's nothing wrong or right. You all are right, and we cannot be wrong here. It's just about having a method. Tomorrow you don't want somebody to come and question the integrity. Why did you decide this project? Why not something else? Hence, there has to be a method around it. Simple.
so basically the ones identified in the Pareto chart, basically if you go back to the one under the 80% would
Yes.
basically will be listed as the parameters or within the I mean the
ISO one
five
here.
questions.
Here
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes.
you can so you can use Pareto plus ISO. You can, but I honestly see like honest please pardon me for saying that, but I'm not an ardent fan of Pareto chart. Well, that's my logic, my bit of it. The reason being, see, I have serious disconnects with Pareto chart for a very simple reason. It helps me look at a problem. It looks at this column, it doesn't look at this. My concern is this. If it may give me a high number for a problem, which may not be my biggest concern, it just talks about number. Variety in the menu is the biggest concern as per this. Well, is that big a problem? Well, probably not. For me, at least, I will be more concerned about this hygiene. I'll be more concerned about the lower numbers, which is probably essential for the business. Something which we talked about as basic, they will be the ones which I would rather be more focused. Pareto chart will never pick up hygiene in this case. If you're using Pareto, hygiene related 43 companies will never stand a chance to be picked up as a as a concerning project. But if I don't take care of this, my business is going to be gone. So technically, I'm not an ardent fan because it does not look at the right left side of it. It just looks at number. It's number based. It's driven. You do a descending order. You don't do a Pareto chart. Do a like sort it out on a descending order. Your Pareto chart is done. That's how I would look at it. So again, I have my own reservations in using Pareto chart. Having said, I don't say no to anyone. Please do use it. But and moreover, it doesn't give me any statistical evidence or backing up. So yes, sort of, I'm not, my reservations are different. But yes,
Right, but there is that is basically defined as the first part of. I mean, when you say prioritize, you'll first analyze. So where do we start here now? I mean, if you want to look at it as a process block of what do you do first, second, and third, we said analyze, and analyze. We said Pareto. Then you said define. So then you say okay, Kano or the ISO.
no, so you would be picking up and 80% of the bulk, which will be generally the smaller chunk, because that's where 80% problem lies. The biggest problem will lie where you have like, so 80% problem will be in few issues. Such issues will not be, so Pareto chart when I'm using this will never get captured, never ever.
So how would you? I mean, again, I'm sorry. I'm just being a little lost
No,
into
no, no, no,
the
please go ahead.
sequence of the events that are supposed to happen.
No, no, no. There's no sequence. See, these are options. They are different options. You don't have to follow all these. These are options based on what you prefer. What is your need? Okay, well, if my management has given me a task that, well, there's so many complaints coming these days. Well, we need to reduce the number of complaints. That's the best model. If you're concerned about the complaints, if you are
Like
concerned about the number of defects, the rejects that we are having, the products are being like we are getting too many like reworks because my products are defective, there are X number of problems. My management wants to drop down the rejected part, the count. That's when Pareto is the perfect tool. Count, not the where does it get come from. Count, absolute number. That's
gotcha.
what. Okay. All right.
So
Thanks.
Pareto comes under which one? Define or analyze, as you
This is
mentioned.
just tool. No, none of these tools are linked with any phase. These are
Okay.
options you use. So say here we got some problem. I need to pick a problem. Now, what is your objective here as a business owner? What are you trying to address? So probably I want to pick up a project because which is more risky, like I want to ensure that my risk is managed, okay, then my tool will be FMEA. I will use a FMEA to find which is most critical problem which could hamper my business. Risk based prioritization. Well, no, I want to do a project where I will spend as less as possible, and I can finish it as soon as possible. Well, then I will use a cost time matrix. Depends on what is your need, you pick up one model. You have a bucket of all these, based on your requirement, you pick one of them. Is it? I hope that's clear now.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Now we
Yeah.
have one more coming our way. This one, weighted CTQ prioritization matrix. This is similar to what you see in the ISO version. This is similar, absolutely similar, but here you get weightage done. The weightage will be given by the sponsors. Let's quickly have a look at it. Weighted CTQ prioritization matrix. So this is also exercised. A lot of people just use this weighted CTQ prioritization matrix. Now, weighted CDQ prioritization matrix can have, say, I've got problems like improve quality. We have to improve the quality. We have to reduce the handling time, AHT, average handling time. Say we want to improve the customer satisfaction. So we've got different stuff to be looked at, and we want to select a problem out of it, a project out of it. Which one should we work on? Everything is important technically, yes, but which one should we be working upon? So we would like to pick up a problem here, get the stakeholders here. Weightage part will come from stakeholders. So weightage will be here. Who gives the weightage? Here, my sponsor or the champion will give the weightage. Nobody gets to know what's the weightage. That's how it is. You don't share the weightage, otherwise people will get biased. People will speak the same language what champion would say. Well, based on the current dynamics of the business right now, what is the need of the hour? Well, do you really want, like, out of 100%, how would you like to give weightage to these things? Well, given the current situation, probably I think this is this would account for like 30%, this would account for say 40%, and this would say account for say remaining what you got, like 30%. Yeah, remain 30%. So that's how these people who are champion and stakeholder, these are your clients. Actually, you got to listen to them, and you got to ensure they are satisfied. So given their understanding of the business, what is they feel is of prime importance in weighted method. They give you the weightage, and these are not disclosed to anyone. Now you start with your uh, like uh, like scoring done. So here, what who all will be part of the scoring? Say your process manager, all the relevant stakeholders, anyone who has got anything to do with the business, with your business model, who is related with the process. So process managers, say quality people, you may get the training persons, you may get the supervisors, and say you may get one more supervisor, some other supervisor. So these are different people. Say let's engage HR also, and they are relevant people with the process, whatever we kind of dealing with. Some, because quality related HR will also be involved because they hire the people. They have to know like what kind of people they are hiring. These people supervise are handling day-to-day operations for them. So they are dealing with all this stuff. They are dealing with this. Training people are the ones who are dealing with people, and they are getting training. Quality people are assuring, assessing all the quality stuff. So these are relevant stakeholder. Process manager, definitely yes. So we got relevant stakeholders. What we will do is we aren't sharing these details with them. This is not. Now we will have a very simple metric: 1, 3, and 9. We don't want to make it complex, and that's how it generally, whenever we want to take away conflict related issue, go with 1, 3, and 9. Low, medium, and high ratings. Avoid too much of conflict, use this. 139. If you feel this is a very important problem, use 9. If it's low importance, you use 1, or medium is 3. So process manager, given the current dynamics, the way the probably is having a nightmare with the management, the client is unhappy and stuff like that. Well, sort of he believes that this is medium, not that concerning nowadays, but this is where the management, he's being pulled up by client, by internal clients is also, and this is sort of 3. So that's the understanding. These people are relevant stakeholders. They have the business understanding and wherever they're working on. So you are going to value their opinion. Quality people, there's definitely, they will be giving more weightage to this, probably 3 and 3 sort of thing. So this is also 9 as per them. And then say, I'm just randomly putting some numbers down, like, please pardon me for that. Quad training says this 3, and this is 3, and this is say 3. Let's kind of park it like this. Then we've got 3, 9, 3, and say 3, 9, 1. Supervisor phase quality is 1. This guy says 3, and this is says 3. HR person says 3, and this is 9 and 3. So whatever, like, I'm just randomly putting some numbers. So whatever scoring gets done. Now, we will have sum of the ratings and then weighted ratings. Sum of ratings will get, let's get the sum of ratings here, and weighted ratings. Now, sum of rating, let's get this one. Sum, add up everything, and oops, and weighted ratings. Well, I have to kind of mess up with something, otherwise it will become a problem here. This multiplied by the weightage. Well, given the current situation, these people were not aware what was disclosed, what was the weightage given. This gets picked up as the critical project. That's how weighted scoring method works. You take the weightage from the sponsors and champion and get the scoring done by the relevant stakeholders, and finally get a weighted CTQ prioritization matrix completed. Different methods. No method is wrong or right. Use whatever you are comfortable with, what your team is comfortable with. Everything is fine. Is this okay with everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's have a quick look at other methods that we had listed here. We'll quickly go through them. So we looked at this. We looked at this viability model. I will be emailing that to you. Let me show you the Excel viability sheet. Is project prioritization model. So this is the ISO template. See, this is another example of ISO 13053. And then we have got this. This is viability model. There are 15 questions in here. There are 15 questions how to fill in, update this viability model. You got to read this, put the weightage, get the scoring done by the sponsor or the champion, get the done scoring, and then read this accordingly. You just need to fill in one wherever you feel what is the right answer. Put in one. If it's a rest, let it be 0. Whatever you need, whatever you feel it's applicable answer, given that you read this question, put 1 there, and you read this, you will understand instructions to use viability model. It will generate some score, viability score. How viable is it to do this Six Sigma project? You will generate a score and
You will
follow
give us this, boss. You will give us this.
I will email. I'll be emailing. I'll share it in the WhatsApp group, or I'll get this
Yes.
email to IMC. Yeah. So
Thank
this
you.
generates a viability score for you, and this is the grade that we look at. DMAC viability. What is the viability to a Six Sigma project? All the questions relevant to the Six Sigma stuff. Now, anything.
So
which
this red zeros, is there is a matrix there or something we need to know?
Some numbers. No,
Just
this is like some numbers. So mathematical if conditions and all that stuff.
okay, the if condition. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll like you, if you just take your cursor, nothing has been hidden. So all form, we just try to kind of keep it like you, if you look at this, you will be able to understand. I can share.
And what is the benefit for that?
See, it's like, it helps you to kind of understand what is the final score. So you have to create a viability model for every problem. It will generate a score, a viability score for doing this project on that particular problem. So you want to do a project for quality, you create a viability score for quality, similar for something
What
else.
is this 3.2?
This is this says Lean Six Sigma project viability. How viable is it to do a project on this based on whatever scoring has been done? How viable is it? And
So
then
this is not a Z score?
No, this is not a Z score. This is not a Z score. This is where you get to see, like, if what it says that if any project you get less than 3, anything more than 3, you get a viability score. That is a viable project. You should work on the ones which get score more than 3. If it's not, then pretty much you are better off leaving that. It's not a good project to work on in case of Lean Six Sigma. I'll share this Excel sheet. You have a look at it.
What is row 34 and 35 indicated?
That's where the sum and everything, the sum, divide, and all that stuff is happening. The math, the calculation, and basis that the score is being created. So the template is ready. And just you have to do some bit of maths to understand. So I got this as it is. we've been using this, and see, there's some companies who are using this in US, and so pretty much I got this from one of the
So
companies.
who invents this? Who
No,
invents
no,
this?
no.
Which
Like no,
scientist?
it just nobody else. Again, it's been happening. People, it's created this in industrially, and like
Okay.
people have been using it across. So that's how.
Okay.
There's no such.
Okay.
Yeah, it's listed in some of the books. Even Council for Six Sigma books, they have this viability model in the books of Council for Six Sigma.
Sir, will
So
there
we
be any
use it to
questions based
decide
on?
whether we start a project or not.
Yes, yes. You do a project on this or you do a project on someone else. So choice.
So
This is a choice.
compare projects.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Well,
You will get.
well,
Yeah.
well, I have a small question on the ISO and weightage model. As you say that we should have some kind of source data to determine the scoring, where the customers should be scoring on the respective questions, right?
Oh,
On what basis the customer should score on the customer importance on all these 5 questions without any sourcing of data that we have given to the customer?
the customer is not scoring this. It is our champion and the process team, people who are working on the problem. It's not been given to the customer. We are deciding which project should we work upon. So it's my champion. The champion will be working on, or the sponsor who's funding the project. We have got a problem in our organization. We want to fix the problem. So we're deciding. So our business, we understand. We are dealing with a client, and there is a challenge. The customer has been shouting that you're not delivering on your targets, you're not fulfilling your commitments. We know what's wrong, and it's our business. We are trying to fix the business here. We're not getting it done from the customer.
So we do our internal brainstorming on
Yes, yes,
each.
yes,
Okay, yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Yes.
fine.
Okay, perfect. Now, oops, I just closed it. Anyway, just like we don't need it for now. Okay, let's grab it. Give me a quick
In
moment.
the viability model, are these standard questions to be applied across any project that needs to be done?
See, these guys say this is not coming from a standard for sure. So these guys created their own model, and it's in practice. People have been using it in various organizations. They created it, and because it's not a standard, you can still make changes. Honestly, some people created. It's been followed, and that's how it's been getting circulated across various organizations. People who are Lean Six Sigma consultants working across various organizations, and specifically in US, they have been using this predominantly. So that's how it is. So you can change it. I can say again, there's nothing called wrong or right. Again, unless until it's coming from a guideline like this ISO, don't mess up with this. Yes, but barring that, everything you change, you things. There's nothing which is wrong or right here. It's just about if you can justify if it works for you, good. It may not work for me. Well, it's fine. So it's all about you decide, and these are best practices. So different people have different preferences, and that's how it works. So it's fine. You can make changes if you feel like. You can add something, you can subtract. But yes, it's the way. Generally, I would refer to one of the book which is there, like it's a where I got the viability details. Pretty much they had explained this model, and that's how this sheet got created. So is that okay? Shall we proceed to the next one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So cost time matrix, we are not talking right now. We're not talking about FMEA right now. These we will be discussing about them in due course of time when we get to improve. You will have the learning of it. You will then these are tools. So whenever you want to use them, you will have an idea. Okay, well, we have got a situation, we can use this. Simple as that. So we're going to park it for now. So we have parked this Pareto chart for analyze phase. We parked these two tools for analyze phase, improve phase. So that's when it'll get covered up automatically. Say whatever tool you use, you have decided a project at this stage, and you would have reached a stage where your VOC would have been confirmed that I am going to work on so and so project. So technically, with any model, you would have used a model and you would have decided a problem. That's when we convert a VOC, which has been decided, into CTQ, which stands for critical to quality. What is critical to quality? Again, the KPIs. We talked about few basic examples yesterday, like if my problem is to VOC is to increase profit, but how would I measure the profit? Like, are we going to increase the profit percentage or reduction in the cost? Everything is leading to profit. What is that you will be driving? Because that numbers will be used. So probably my increase in profit percentage, but from what to what? You have to set up some goal. Well, this year our profit margins were 18%, and we would like to increase it to 25%. That's what we're talking about. Profit margins, profit percentage, increase in profit percentage. That's the CTQ. So just by saying, well, we will increase the profit, well, doesn't make sense. Increase profit from what to what? How are you going to measure it? Or probably when we're talking about increasing, when we reduce the cost, our profits will get better. Yes. So simple, that was another method. Or I can just talk about increasing revenue, increasing sales. There has to be a method how you're going to achieve this. We talk about, say, improving quality. Quality can be improved. How would you measure the quality? It's getting better. A quality percentage, or you reduction in defect rate. So it's just another way of, like, you got to find a measurement method of improving this. Okay, you just got to find a measurement method to check how this VOC is going to be evaluated. Like, how would you check whether it's getting better or not? So VOC to CTQ is nothing other than just translating that business problem into a number-based method, something which cannot be measured, cannot be quantified, cannot be improved. You have to go to the management and tell them that this is what we will do, but you got to give them numbers. Numbers is what they will be able to understand. So you would need to convert the VOC into CTQ. CTQ is just about how will you measure this. I hope that's a very, very simple stuff, but yes, an important critical point here that we got to convert it. That's what we will go and update a project charter about. Is that okay with everyone? Actually, we discussed about yesterday briefly.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. So once we've done our bit of research, we've discussed or we've defined a problem, we understood the problem, that this is what we need to work on. That's when we write a project charter. Now, project charter is an essential element. As a business owner, as a project leader, we must know how to write an excellent, not a good project charter, an excellent project charter. So there is something which I would definitely want you to look at in your material. You have I didn't create this stuff, but yes, whosoever did it, not just for the Qatar University. Okay. Give me one quick moment. Okay. Okay. Or well, in the data files for class, I'm sure you all would have received this material. Define phase, you have file by the name of project charter. A project charter would look like, it can have different ways people have it on PowerPoint, Excel, Word, document. Technically, a lot of material is there. A lot of people have different ways of presenting project charters. I would definitely want you all to work on it. Now, this is going to be sort of a assignment. Keeping in mind you all are busy, and so I'm not going to give you any other further assignment. But for now, just keep this in mind. This is important. Everyone needs to get into habit of writing a project charter. So for that sake, the couple of advices here. Pick up any business problem that you feel like, any business problem that comes to your mind. If you don't know a problem, or you can't think of a problem, well, please be my guest. The same restaurant example is ready for you. My problem is that we have lesser people coming in. My waiting time is very high, and that is the business problem. Currently, my average waiting time is 20 minutes, and I would like to reduce it to 10 minutes. That's the project. So given the problem, you know the goal, what we want to achieve, you need to fill up this small document. This is just a single pager. That's what we're talking about. That's what the management is going to look at. You will be submitting this project charter. Again, you can take your time. Please share this project charter in case, uh, but having said that, the question is, how do we know what needs to be written in the project charter? How do we need to write it? You just scroll down, it says guidelines to fill the project charter. Now, it tells you what needs to be written. What do you keep in mind while you're writing a business case? An example of it. So you have an understanding of it. What are the points that you got to keep in mind while writing a problem statement? An example of it, a bad and a good one, so that you know the difference between a good and bad example. What is the goal statement? These are the points you got to keep in mind, and an example of it. So every section has been explained. This is a very small document, but yes, that's based on this. You have to write this project charter and submit it. You should try and kind of look into it and uh, share with me in case you feel like there's something which you can work on. Do pick up a problem. If you have your real world problem, you can use that. You can use the one which we are talking about, like any the restaurant example. I'm ready to kind of go ahead and check it out. Please do share in case you can get it. That's my email ID. I would be more than happy to review and share a feedback, because everyone, as I said, this is not something which is a choice. Everyone who is into the Lean Six Sigma, or for that matter, any project management role, uh, you must write an excellent project charter. So I'm sure everyone will do a great job, but yes, it's just about getting into the habit of writing it. One more space that I would like to, one is, this is sort of an assignment. I won't give any more for sure, but this is something where an individual feedback needs to go. So that's an assignment. I will definitely explain some bit of it, so I'll just give you where about what to write. What you have already have the document, you have the information, but I will briefly explain what's there in the project charter, how to, some segments I'll just briefly explain. Another thing which you should do is visit this site, slideshare.net, and search for Six Sigma projects. You will get a lot of options, a lot of project samples where you get to understand how a Six Sigma project is written, like how the project charters are written. So you will get a lot of examples there. Read through them, you will get an idea. So different people have articulated differently. You will get to learn about that. So it's just about you. Everyone has a unique style of writing it. So you don't need to copy anyone's style. You are best the way you are. But yes, got to keep this in mind that yes, whatever we when we read multiple material, at least we'll get to understand, okay, well, this is how, like different people's style of writing, you will be able to imbibe certain good things. So do spend some time, whenever you get some time, in sharing, in reading some project charters here. Some project charters would not take like more than an hour practically to go through. If even if you go through, it's like 5-10 project charters, you're done. Not just project, they will have a complete project there. An assignment for this one, whenever you can get time, please do share this. Well, having said that, I will quickly share a basic
Please give a deadline, sir, for this assignment.
no, I am not putting a deadline. Keeping in mind, you all like people are working professionals, so I can't commit to your, like I can't set a deadline. You decide whenever you're comfortable. Please share that. I will be more than happy to review
Thank you.
as it when I get it. Having said that, yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, you are sharing the website for the practice purpose to getting a knowledge, and we can develop our self also. Sir, any information you can share there, we can practice any question set like that.
Exam, like for the exam,
Yes, sir.
for
Not
the
only
uh,
not only properly on exam. After the exam, we can use it.
question set. Like I didn't get it. Like are you talking about? Uh, so are you talking about like these
There is
projects?
a question set in the website of IMC at the end of your
Yeah,
sign up.
there would be some sample questions.
There
Yeah.
is a 20 questions as named as a question sample.
Okay, I can share, some sample questions also, so that's not a problem. I do have some sample questions which I can share. You all can look into it. So I have something which is like
Sir, when we log in MIC in our username in our page, when we click on courses, there is a choice of green belt. When we click that down, you will find a question example.
okay,
You can download it from there.
perfect. So I'm sure like there will be some sample
I did
questions.
it. I did it. I downloaded from there.
Great. Like so, I can share some additional also if you want. But
Yes,
yeah,
please.
oh yeah, I
Yes,
will do
yes.
that. No problem.
Sir, can you share that the project charter guidelines?
Yeah, it's there. It's like I'm sure. Did you get the material from IMC to
We get it
download?
from you, sir. When downloaded this, we get it
Okay.
from you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so the material that I shared, the pre-transfer link, I think I shared. I'm not sure whether I do have it handy right now, but this entire zip folder, we had like this entire folder. I can probably I can check it out if
I
I.
just joined the group yesterday.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll put the link or the WeTransfer link on the WhatsApp group, so you can take it from there. You will be able to get all the files here, like whatever we have, because it'll be required. So all the files which are in there, these
Oh
files,
yeah,
a sample of everything, the slides that I'm using, everything is here in the. So you can click on it, it'll get downloaded. I'll share in the WhatsApp group.
appreciate.
Okay, perfect. Now I'll just kind of briefly still explain what is this like. Okay, okay. I will just briefly explain at least what are the components of your project charter still, so that we have fair bit of idea what to keep in mind. Uh, Business case. It has got business case which we need to update. There are major components I'm talking about. What are there? Problem statement. Some companies do not like problem statement word. They say opportunity statement. They it says negative. It says problem word is negative. So don't use problem statement. Use opportunity statement. And there are other components. Let's we have goal statement, and then we have scope of the project. Let's kind of create here scope of the
Sir, I
project.
share your material in WhatsApp now for everyone.
Perfect. Thanks, Adan. Thanks, Adan. You've been a great help, buddy. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks. Scope of the project, and then you have milestones. They're different. So these are different stages that you need to fill in a project charter. We do have a sample project charter, which is already here in the slides that I'm like using, and that's there in the material also. So you have a sample. This is how it looks like: business case, a problem statement, a scope. You have your team members. You have got your goal statement. You've got the timelines. Now, uh, let's kind of understand briefly what is that we need to keep in mind when we're writing a business case. I'm not talking about like you will get the guidelines to fill the project charter. The document is there, but briefly, when I'm reading a business case, see, everyone has a different style of writing. Perfect. Now, when I'm reading a business case, I am looking for three answers. Simple as that. What is this project all about? What is this project all about? What is this project? Is it quality? How many?
Problem statement, we call it.
Yeah, the business case I'm talking about. The business case.
Okay.
When I'm reading a business case, I am trying to find three answers to these three questions. Anyone, like, everyone has a different style, so that's fine. You don't need to copy anyone's style, but anyone who's reading your business case wants to hear these three answers, like want to get answers to three questions. What is this project all about? What is it going to do? What is the benefit of doing the project now? What are the implications of not doing the project now? So if I read your business case and if I get answers to my questions, technically I have you and you addressed my whatever is supposed to be done in a business case broadly. That's what I'm looking for. Opportunity statement or problem statement is a numeric. This is generally literature. You don't get into facts, figures, analysis in business case. Generally, it's a literature. You end up writing, drafting, like a it's pure English sort of thing. That's what I would put it. But you made like big claims in here. Sort of, you kind of explained too much. Now there must be some justification, right? Like you can't just say this will happen, that will happen. There must have been something you must have done. That's where I will say problem statement is the numerical justification of what you claimed in the business case. You must have done some bit of research. You must have spoken with some subject matter experts, the process experts. You would have understood what's wrong. Some fact finding must have been done by you. So that's where the problem statement comes into the picture, which supports the business case. This is
Can
I
we
would put
link
it
this
as.
business case with like management way of answering the 5 Ws: what, who, where, when, why?
Absolutely. So sort of thing. See, technically, I'm trying to understand, like explain. So when somebody is reading your business case, should be able to understand,
Like
how does it?
what is the problem?
Yes,
Who is affected? Where it's
absolutely.
affected? When it's affected? Since when it's affecting? Why we should start this because of
Yeah.
the cost matter, showing numbers like this.
How does it tie to your business goals? Like how,
Yes.
technically, if I allow you to do a project, how does it help me? Like bottom line, I should be able to bring that linkage. I should be able to get the attention. So when your management, any stakeholder is reading your business case, you're trying to draw the attention. If now you've got the attention, you need to further make sure that it's clear how numerical justification. This is generally number analysis. All that stuff will go into your problem statement. Now, what it should contain always, keep this in mind, basic stuff. It should always contain data period under study. Now, you must have uh, analyzed like last 3 months data, last 6 months data. You must mention what time period. What time period is very, very important. So tomorrow somebody wants to go and check it out. Yeah, the person can do it. Please feel free to check and validate what I'm saying. Is it right or wrong? So data period study is must. Secondly, when I studied this data period for last 3 months data, what did I see? The actual problem. What was the actual problem? When you must mention what was the actual problem you figured out in, let's say, last 3 months, which is into facts and figures. Say we can say our quality percentage has dropped to say 85% from against the target of 95%. Say this is what I'm trying actual, what is the actual problem? Now it has led to, now because you had a problem, what is the implication so far? So implications that you have suffered, like what is the implications? You probably have got some penalties assessed, like market share has gone down. So penalty by how much? This is number penalty of you have already paid because of this. You had a service level agreement with the client that you will ensure that 95% quality is maintained. Probably you've written some contractual obligation is that you must maintain that, otherwise there's penalty. A lot of clients do have such clauses. So probably we have already paid $10,000 for not meeting this agreement. For last 3 months we have done it, and this is almost, we already paid say 30K so far in last 3 months. This is the penalty. We have lost the market share, loss of market share from, say we had a 35% market share for the client, now it's dropped down to 30%. It has gone to a competitor. Now you're kind of giving the image what it has led to. These numbers make sense to the management. Otherwise it won't ring a bell. Now this is where it gets more interesting. So when you kind of given the implication, you always project the problem on large scales, project the problem on YTD basis, on analyze on, if it continues at the same rate on an annualized basis, how do you see this problem on an annualized basis? How big is this problem? You got to give them a bigger picture. Try to scare them. That's what I'm talking about. Bigger picture. It's important because everything is done
Sir,
on an annualized basis. Yes,
sir, I have one practical question about it.
please.
Usually, project charter, we make a board note. Okay, in board note we put all these business case, IRR requirement of a company and cost related schedule. Everything we put in a 3-page document.
Hmm.
So how you compare that board note with this project
It's
chart?
more like same. Absolutely. So that's not, see, technically, different things have moved transition differently. So project charter is not coming from Six Sigma. So if you pick up a PMP syllabus, you'll see it's there. It's a project management tool, which has been named differently. You can talk about board note. Technically, that's what it is. Different organizations could label it differently. You have already been in a process of writing a project charter. That's what I would say. That's how it is. So that's all what is required. What you just mentioned, definitely yes, that's what is required. So you've already been working on project charter. That's what I can tell of. So this is how you kind of mentioned. Now it's very important to try and see if you can link. This is very important. Link the problem with dollars, whatever the money rated. If you can't do this, sort of it lacks the punch that you're looking for. Because unless until you can tell them, well, I can tell you that my quality has dropped to like 85%. Well, it does not make sense too much to me. When you tell them, well, this is the penalty you've paid, now that's what it makes more sense to me. So it's very important. Try and see if you can find a linkage when you can kind of quantify the impact in terms of money. That's what the management would be able to make more sense of. It will become a like a more grievous situation which needs your attention right now. That's what I would put it across. Now, avoid one thing, very, very important. Never ever mention any possible cause or a solution. Even if you know the problem, don't suggest. Simple as that. When you written your problem statement, please go and check it yourself, criticize yourself. Is it by any chance am I telling or suggesting any possible reason? Then please take it away. Again, you don't want to mention any possible cause or solution, because you mention it, you will not get approval. Simple as that. Why you're doing a Six Sigma project? Because you're not been able to figure out what's the problem. That's why you're doing it. If you know the problem, go and fix it. Never mention this, and a lot of people do make this mistake. Please avoid it. That's what you got to keep in mind. Never suggest uh, anything like this. Goal statement, sort of very, very simple and straightforward. SMART statement. We all must have heard about this acronym. SMART stands for, again, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So specific, I can't. Oh wait, well, let me kind of put this statement together here. To increase the quality percentage from 85% to 95% by say June 2021. That's simple as that. That's how big a statement should be. Simple as that. Smart. It always goes by KISS. Keep it short and simple. Is it specific? Yes, I'm talking about specific number. Is it measurable? Yes, I can measure it. Is it attainable? Well, I am telling you something which is feasible. Yes. Is it relevant? Yes, I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about quality. I'm not digressing to anything else. I'm not saying if we do this, we'll get market share. No, 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 no. The project is all about quality. It's not about market share. It's not about customer satisfaction. What if you achieve the quality? That doesn't happen. Then there'll be a problem. So you got to keep it relevant. Whatever you're talking about, just stick to it. And it should have a timeline. So that's how a goal statement is written. I'm sure this, you'll read the document, you'll understand it. Now, this.
Sir, on this one point, I have one
Yeah, yeah,
clarification.
please.
You said never mention a possible causes or a solution.
Yeah.
They are very smart guys when we present this sort of projects who comes out and they start throwing out their ideas and solutions. So how do we tackle at that point of them?
See, again, so that's what we are. If you know the problem, it's the best thing
No,
to
it
put it back on them.
we say for example, we don't know the problem, we don't know the solution.
Mm-hmm.
When we present to an champion or the sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
of course, he will not be alone. He might have his consultant or he might have his assistant who will be present in those sort of meetings.
Absolutely, yes.
And those guys are their job is to prove them they are smarter than us.
Absolutely, yes, without any doubt. And probably they're not
So how do we tackle those sort of things when they come out of these solutions or they start giving the opinions or try to poke it? I can say that
Yeah,
what
yeah. So that's and that's again,
not
they are
to
doing their
take it
job.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they are doing their job.
how do we manage those guys?
See, it's very important to again just play the devil's advocate again. So bottom line, you we must have, again, we know the solution, right? So you must have experienced all this. You must have kind of fixed it. Are we still having the problem? If we know the problem, we know the solutions, and we would have tried it. Whatever suggestions you are making, I'm sure your process owners would have made those. So relevant process owners who are technical experts, subject matter experts, would have done their bit of it already. Again, I'm sure if you know all these solutions, the suggestions are welcome. I'm sure your respective program owners, so because you will have the champions with you, the relevant champion who is wherever the process we will be working upon, whosoever's process is going to be fixed by this project, you'll have the champion will be there, because technically the champion is going to be part of the meeting. So I'm sure this
Yeah.
gentleman, we were qualified gentlemen, must have done all this bit of due diligence. I'm not doubting his capability. So yeah, I'm sure we have all tried all this, but I think like we need to go beyond that, because we have tried and tested. So yeah, but there's no point in being so say somebody's trying to be smart. Yes, let it be. We don't want to be like, we can't avoid, like we can't avoid such people. They will come across. So it's very important to kind of put it across back to them that yes, we have tried and tested all these things. So I'm sure Mr. So and so has exhausted all his efforts, and we have done our bit of it, and that's why I think we need to take it further. So yes, it's good to acknowledge all those things. So somebody is coming and telling you and giving you advices. Well, absolutely appreciated, and we would and trust. Again, I'm sure this gentleman so and so would have done it, and you don't want to demean this person who's a champion and who knows process better than anyone else.
Sir, sir, can I add in a practical way?
Okay.
Yeah, please do.
Sir, actually, when group directors and when director sits, we call murder board. Okay, in that they have different opportunities in their hand, and if they have an opportunity with 19% IRR or 18% IRR, 17% IRR, and if your project is giving 15 or 16% IRR,
You know, get it.
so they that is a murder board. they kill that project. If you
Yeah.
have a subject matter expert with you,
Hmm.
and he can explain them about additional benefit about that project, which will help overall group or other activity,
Hmm.
then only they approve this project. So
You're right.
he's talking about champions or director level people, and I have faced it many times all this thing, so I can say all that.
Yeah, I'm sure. See, you need to have somebody who, see, somebody has to be used as a bait. Somebody has to be used as a bait. So I would rather use the champion. And I'm sure this guy would defend himself that he is smart enough and he's talented and skilled enough and he has kind of used all these new ideas, what we're kind of using. See, financial perspective, you're talking about IRR. Well, if they have decided that, yes, the priority is to look at IRR, and that's the only criteria. See, and you can't just force through. We can ensure that somebody has more authority drives this. So it's champion who should put these things across. He would have more authority in presenting it. So it's you got to make sure that champion is convinced with your project because it's going to ultimately benefit the champion, the process owner, whosoever is, and we will be the ones who will probably be adding our bit of it from Six Sigma perspective, but let the talking be done by that person. If you know there is some certain challenges like this, and see, honestly, you cannot have a perfect solution for everything. You will definitely get situations we are beyond your control.
Sir, I see. I should I make my define phase before I go ask for a meeting, because if I define phase, my define phase shows that I have a problem, that there is no solution for that. There is a reason for Six Sigma. Then I can convince him with numbers. It comes from the define phase.
Yeah, so technically you would have done your due diligence. You're picking up a project because you have uh, that kind of problem which needs to be addressed with Six Sigma only. So you have reasons to kind of let this see. Well, this all problem was happening, wasn't the management aware of it? Or probably do you want to say that whatever people number of people we've hired, they have no technical knowledge, they don't have an idea of managing business? Practically not. They are subject matter experts, but probably this needs a different treatment now, and that's why we need to. So that's what needs to be convinced in a way that people will be able to relate with. There are problems which are beyond a basic control. You need to get into data. Data needs to be explained.
I put in the WhatsApp group our last Six Sigma project and we get the Six Sigma project. That was our goal. That is how we presented to the management.
Perfect, perfect. I will just get some time to go
That
through
is
it.
in the chat. I just copy it from my document.
Perfect. So I'll definitely have a look at it also. Again, it's a great thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to scope of the project. So scope of the project, should have two things covered: in scope and out of scope.
All right.
Simply, what is that you will cover in the project and what is that you will not cover in the project should be absolutely clear, because it's quite possible that you may be trying to say that, okay, we are going to cover so and so things in the project, and it will never be picked like so. Probably you amend something else. Okay, well, let me kind of give a simple example here. uh, so we will improve the quality. So the quality is, so what is the scope of the project? Say quality for ABC client. Now, say your business operates out of multiple locations and you are operating out of, say, location A. Technically, you wanted to fix this project and you are only at location A. You wanted to fix that work for quality issues for ABC client at your location, but you never mentioned it. As a business owner, my understanding is that ABC client, anything that rolls up to ABC client, you're going to fix it up. But you have multiple locations, A, B, C, D, and where you don't work. You are stationed your location on A. You are dealing with this ABC client out of this location. This is being worked out of this location, also this location. But technically, you never mentioned that it is, you got to mention it clearly that for location A, no ambiguity, because I would mean that you are covering for every client, the entire ABC client, which is not the case. So you must ensure that it's clear enough what is that you will cover in the project and what is that you will not cover in the project. So out of scope is technically other metrics, like probably the handling time or customer satisfaction, and stuff like that. And good way to close this out of scope is and rest everything else. Simple as that. Bottom line, it should be crystal clear what is the area. Don't come back and have false expectations. So it should not be a case that I meant something and you understood something. Simple as that. So it's very clear that I should be able to make sure that this is what I am fixing. Simple. I'm not fixing this. This project is only for this location. That's what we talk about in scopes. Milestone will have like timelines when we have, say, project will start on so and so date, and like define start date, measure. So it's like it says define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So you'll have your start dates and end dates here. When would the start, when end, start date, and start date, end date, sort of thing. So that's how. But yes, this is like a high level sort of thing. Please do go through the document, have an idea about it, and do share with me. So having said that, I said no timelines. I'm setting it up. Take your time. Please share it whenever you get, because individually everyone needs to get a feedback, because you will be the one who'll be writing this. Now, having said that, say once we're done with this project charter, we have submitted the project charter, uh, and management will review. Now, management would technically involve your champion, who would involve your sponsors. Champion is convinced, and practically you will go for a kickoff meeting. Now, kickoff meeting is when you get officially approved that yes, we have got the project. We will the project is officially approved. You can go ahead and start the project here. Now, kickoff meeting, when it will generally happen with the top core committee of this, which will include the process owners, probably somebody from the process manager, if there is someone who's going to be leading in that from that particular department. You'll have the green belt if there is a black belt. These people will generally confirm that yes, okay, well, we have got the project like approved, which will follow with team selection. You need team to work on it. You are not the one who will be working on the project. So you need people who will complete the job. Now, there is a tool which is there. This is not a mandatory tool, but yes, having said that, people use this. You generally get nominations. You get nominations from different departments. So different people will nominate different people from the department for uh, becoming a team members. So say we got A, B, C, D, and say some people who are been nominated by different stakeholders, different department holders. And what we generally do is we rate them. GRPI is about goals, roles, process, and interpersonal skills. So these are four different criteria on which we try to select team member. Now, you will give us ratings on certain grounds. What you would do is you'll call for a meeting. You call these people who have been nominated. You'll give them a brief that this is what we have decided. We'll be working on the so and so project. The goal of the project is so and so. You'll briefly explain them. This will be the role of different people. You sort of give them a brief about the entire project. You'll kind of tell them that this is the problem happening, so and so process, stuff like that. So technically, you give them a whereabout of what your project is going to be doing, brief introduction sort of thing. Now, while they would be surely set to like they will be sitting for a group discussion or some sort of you'll ideally get a group discussion done where people kind of brainstorm, discuss what needs to be done while you are evaluating them, for on these parameters, how so and so person is convinced or clear about the goal, the way the person interacts with other people. So we'll get to see, rate and score them on the goal parameters, like how this person is clear about the goal, about the role of different people, what would be the expected out of them, sort of thing. Are they clear about the process in which they will be working on? What is the problem? Do they have good process knowledge, the way they are kind of explaining things? Because it's quite possible people from different departments might have also joined in. They may not have core technical knowledge, but trust, more than this, I would put maximum money here. This is the most critical piece, at least for me, from a real world project perspective. That's what I put maximum weightage: interpersonal. I can teach you this, I can teach you this, I can teach you this, I can't teach you this. Simple as that. This can't be taught. This is about people. This is about respecting individual. I don't need a brilliant person who will spoil the culture. One person's job. No, that's not what it is. I would like to make sure I'm okay with mediocre people, average people, but I'll make them work. I'll be able to upskill them. I don't want one-time brilliance person who spoils the culture. It's very important to maintain the team culture. So yes, I would like to know how somebody responds to a query. How do you respect each other's opinion? I do you disrespect someone? Like probably, well, if you saying something and I cut you short in between and like, well, oh, well, forget about it. Let's that's kind of thing I is not acceptable. So I will. What we generally do is we take an average. Now you can do a sum, average, whatever you want. There's not no hard and fast rule. Take an average. Now I'm just going to give a scoring here on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being low and 5 being maximum. So I'm randomly putting uh, some numbers, random numbers, and just pardon me for them if in case somebody gets kicked out from this. Uh, okay, that's what we have. Uh, Now, average, let's take the average here. Well, first of all, again, that's my perspective. Again, you might just look at the average and just take the decision. I would probably you will put some sort of weightage here also on this criteria. For me, this is absolutely bad. For me, again, that's what I would kind of check this person out. That's what my perspective would. This is what I would. You may be very good in terms of goal, knowledge, your roles. You may be very good here, which you have no knowledge, like probably less knowledge. Even if you would have been good here, this is not acceptable. Technically, yes, I will be fine with this person. Well, I can teach you this. I can teach you this. You probably have good understanding about the process. Probably the explanation needs to be better, but this is where I won't compromise because that is where I need proper team members who can gel together, work together. That's how I use them. So GRPI, this is where I would rather put some sort of weightage factor also. I can use weightage also and reduce the weightage here and get an average here. So again, we can do all those maths. I can put more weightage here, less weightage here, and get the scoring done. That could take care of it. I might rather want to put a 40% weightage here and remaining 60% divide 20% weightage here. I can do that also. Well, if you want, we can just do a quick check here. So 20% is 20% is here and 40% is here. Let's
So
get
this scale how to choose team members?
yeah, so sort of thing. Yes, this is what GRPA tool is for to select team members on the basis of goals, roles,
So it's
process.
not based on build,
No, not
or
on the
are you
belt.
choosing out of the build people?
Out of the belt, not the belts ones. These are the people who will be active team members who will be performing certain tasks. People from the process, not the belts ones.
Okay.
Okay, this gets multiplied with the 20%, and let's freeze this 20%, and that's how I get my weightage for these three. And finally, I can take this one multiplied with 40% and give maximum weightage to interpersonal skills. Now I can take the average of this. The maximum weightage, whoever gets kicked out, gets kicked out. This gentleman, this person is the best for me. This is the best for me. This guy gets selected for the project team. This person gets selected for the project team, and probably this person gets selected for the rest. I will discard. I won't pick them. I'll reject them in real world also. That's how it is. So there's a way you do it again, mathematical way. Again, sort of again, still want to get into, but yes, you put weightages. Ideally, I would put it. No one again. These are tools. You can twist them as you want, which can take care of your needs. That's how it is. I hope we're good with this, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Nice way. Maybe we decide. Maybe we decide who we send to get his yellow belt out of this scale, right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, yes, absolutely, yes. You got these are two.
Because we know Six Sigma project, none of the members will be without belt. Everybody should have belt, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. But again, these
So
people
this is choose for what? So this is choose for what?
support,
If everybody
support.
should have belt, so this
No,
one
no,
for what?
not everyone. Like, so there will be some belts. Some people will be support. So that's not mandatory that everyone needs to have a belt. So some people will be required for support. They may not be active team members. They will be required for certain tasks, which will be say they will be people who in the process owner. They are working in the process, but they would be required on an ad hoc basis in the project.
So it's okay to work in Six Sigma project
Yeah,
without
yeah,
belt.
yeah. Yeah, so yes, so they will be. So when you don't have too many people who are belts, you have very limited ones. So yes, you need to have like, so be it a manager, the supervisor. These people will not be Six Sigma professionals. You would not have all of them as, so say there is a group of 10 people. You would not have all of them as Six Sigma professional. Be it your sponsor is not a belt, your champion is not a belt, and like may or may have, but not
No,
necessarily.
I know a company that every single staff has a belt.
Oh well, that's good, but again, not a criteria,
This
not a
is
fixed criteria. Again,
Aramco, Saudi Arabia. Every staff should have yellow belt. Every supervisor should be green. Every manager should be black.
that doesn't work. Honestly, you work in a good company, then I would say yes.
That's
It doesn't. It's not the culture. So it's not the culture everywhere. Bottom line, and so
Mhm.
a very good company. That's what I would say. I would say that's how it works.
Yeah, that is
Perfect. All right. So
to be hired in this company. They ask for your Six Sigma certificate.
great, great. So I'm so that's
It is
how
hiring requirement.
good. I can say that's how it has to be. Again, so things will change, and that's how things are trending. Okay, perfect. So say we've got this, the team selected. Now that is the time for you to get the rest of the activities done by these people
So,
because
sir, can
team,
we call this problem-solving team?
you can, so you can call anything and say this is just a tool. Again, you can, so these people generally are required to solve some big problem. So I'll tell you, like, so this is where most of the big companies, where they will generally be having a big a particular department, which is process excellence department. These people will roam around in different departments and try to see what's wrong with the department, like what all the challenges they are facing. And these people will be called as firefighters. They will find a big problem and they will come fix the problem, move on to different project. So we don't stick around with the organization, a particular department for that matter. We will be required to solve a problem, move on, next problem, next problem. So they will be required only for, and trust, there are times we do nothing. So we are kept silent, like you won't be called for every small thing. Yes, whenever you call, you are the specialist. So technically you will be required to deal with big issues, not for every small stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
So can you just explain that 20-40%? I just
okay,
don't understand that
I
table.
just added weightage. Now I am getting goal scores, I'm getting roles, and I'm getting process also. I'm getting these scores, but that's my perspective, that when I'm selecting a team, the most critical part of of a person in a team is how trainable are you. Are you listening? Are you receptive? If you are you paying respect to other people? I can teach you about all this. I can teach you about your roles, goals. I can teach you about the process. That is fine. This is trainable part. This is not trainable. So what I did, I don't want every value to have equal importance. So all the values which I got, so I got it discounted by 20%. So this 4 became 0.8. So I gave a weightage of 20% here. So weightage of 20%, 20%, 20%, which makes it 60% weightage will come from these three, and this alone will have 40% weightage. So that's how I did. I gave maximum weightage to this part, that I need person as a team member. I don't want brilliant like jerks, to be very honest. That's how, because that spoils. I don't want the culture of the team to be spoiled because somebody doesn't know how to work and doesn't know how to, because I don't can't sit and settle down the conflicts. People should be respecting each other. That's the culture is more
I
important.
have a question here.
Mhm.
Maybe it's not a valid question.
No,
So
please, there's nothing
basically,
called like.
yeah, I have a project. So I need 10 people to work on that project. Okay.
Hmm.
So now I have to go with the skills and I have to sort out the people. So while selecting those people, like
once I started working for my project, then only I'll get to know their interpersonal things, right? Before, like if I'm not working with them, it's a starting phase. So how can I get to know their interpersonal level?
Group discussion. That's why we're getting it done. I'm trying to gauge you. I'm sitting and watching what you guys are doing.
So I have an example, sir. Sorry for interrupting.
No, please, please.
When I took the interview for this current company,
Mhm.
there were like all sort of questions as you regarding the process, regarding my experience.
Mhm.
And there was like one final question from the HR, which is related to the interpersonal skill.
Mhm.
So you're right, the interpersonal skill is very important actually. Actually,
Absolutely,
there's
yes.
been a scenario where I, if a fight happens between the team members, what will I do? You know, those
You,
kind of questions.
you're right. You're right. Again, I don't want to settle because honestly, don't have time for all this stuff where people start having conflicts, difference of opinion. Well, I that will delay my process and that'll take up a lot of time. I don't have bandwidth for all this. I need people who are trainable, who can work together, and together we can definitely solve things, big things. So honestly, we don't need brilliant people. In case if somebody is brilliant and is a team member, well, that's icing on cake. But well, I don't just need a brilliant person, and then there'll be a lot of things which I have to kind of bear because this person is brilliant. Well, I'll just sort of give you a very small example, probably might sound irrelevant, but say I have a team member, I'm into sales. This single person drives 40% of my sales, and I have 10 people, and remaining 9 people contribute only 60%. Now I'm always in threat, under threat, that what if this guy leaves? And this guy knows that he will make my life hell. He will come office as per his time, his wills and fancies, will do whatever he wants, misbehave with everyone. Trust the person knows what he's capable of. Why? Because this person is doing that thing. I don't want the culture to be spoiled like that because this somebody who's a brilliant needs to be good and should kind of gel up with person. That's where the interpersonal skills matter. I do not want the brilliance is fine, it's great, accepted, skills are great. With that skills, if you cannot gel together, you won't go far. You would not be able to sustain. So yes, I in real world also I would put this weightage. I will probably put some weightage on skills specifically also. But so I got 40% weightage out of this. Remaining these just contribute 20%. You can do whatever maths you want to, howsoever you want to break it up, but do that because not everything matters equally. This matters probably, in my opinion, a lot more. So you can decide, but yes, it's possible. You should try and select team members on, and this is a tool. Uh, People use it. Again, some people don't even use it. So it's just about if you want to use it, please use it. I hope you're good with this.
Yes, sir. It's a valid
Okay,
one.
Yes,
perfect,
yes, thank you.
perfect. Thank you. Uh, Now we have now the team ready. The team is available. Now we got to get some work done before we can sign off with a defined phase. There's one thing which is SIPOC. There's a detailed process map. There's a communication plan. There's a RACI or RASIC chart. FME is also supposed to be done, which we are not doing right now. We will be doing it in your analyze, your improve phase. We will be talking, and there's a reason why we're doing it. But in real project, you will be constructing it right now in the different defined phase itself. Why? Because it's a risk management tool. Your risk has already started. The moment the management says, okay, start the project, your risk has started. Your FMEA must start now. Simple as that. But yeah, we aren't studying it from study sake. We'll understand the tool, and in real world, we'll construct it right now. Right now, what given the time we have, I will try to kind of ensure that out of this list, what we do should pick up, we should pick up communication plan to start with. Now, we'll do the SIPOC part of it and communication, the rest of it tomorrow. We'll try to kind of cover up what, as in whatever we can cover, given the time we have. Communication plan. Uh, it's very important to manage communications during the project. Now, you cannot take ad hoc requests. Say, I'm sure we all will agree at some point in time, like our bosses would keep sending emails. I need this report. I need that report. Well, somebody sends me X report. I keep getting stuff, requests, and I keep responding to them. Well, I cannot do that in a project scenario. Everything needs to be planned well in advance, and that's how we will work. So the team is ready. We all sit together in a room, and then we start deciding what all communications do we need to do. So what all communication? Let's start with basic communications, like So these are the activities or communication you may call, or whatever you may call this. These are the things which needs to be done. So first thing first, we will need some reports. That's a communication, right? We will be supposed to send some reports regarding the project. So we need some daily reports. Okay. As a team, we are sitting together, brainstorming stuff, trying to understand all possible communications. Daily reports, weekly reports, say monthly reports, and say quarterly reports. We have, say, from report perspective, this is what we need. Say project progress report. Second, report wise, we're done. These are the basic reports we will require during the project. Probably what else we need? Okay, we'll need some meetings to be done. Well, we'll have daily meetings. Now there will be some pre-shift meeting. Uh, there will be some post-shift meeting. These are communications. We got to be meeting people. Pre-shift, post-shift is done. So what else? We will have some weekly meetings, weekly team meetings. We'll have say monthly team meetings. We'll have some feedback sessions, which will be like one-on-one session. We'll have complaints to be handled. What if somebody has a complaint during the project? Who will address that? Leave requests, new requirements, like in terms of resource, material, anything, new requirement. Uh, what else we would require for communication? We will require, again, there's something called milestones. Milestones are, see, at end of every phase, when you go through, like define gets over, you go through a management review. At the end of measure phase, you go through a management review. At the end of every phase, you sit through a management review. That's a communication that needs to be done. So you'll sit down with your team and understand, analyze all your requirements, what needs to be addressed during the project. Now, you decided some of these problems already. Now, you need to define well in the beginning who is supposed to get these reports or meeting, who's supposed to be part of those meetings. So audience is what we're trying to find out. Who is the audience for this particular activity? Now, you don't want to send, say, for example, there's a financial report. Do you send financial report to everyone in the world? No. There are specific recipients and they should only get those reports. Do you want to spam your CEO's mailbox with your daily reports? No. So I will clearly mention who will be getting these daily reports. We are, say, probably the managers needs to get it, the supervisors needs to get it, the green belt needs to really get it, and so whatever. As a team, we'll understand who is supposed to receive it, who needs this report. Weekly reports, say probably I will have the champion here. Say champion would require these reports. We'll have the managers, green belts would require these reports, and probably the sponsor here also would require these reports. Monthly reports, we can just copy paste this. Quarterly reports, we just copy paste this. Project progress report, we copy paste this. This is what we will have the real names. Right now, we're just kind of managing it with the titles, but we'll have the real names. Daily shift meeting. Now, who is supposed to attend these meetings? So my green belt will be there. The says the supervisor will be there. We will require, say, the team members who will be the active team members on the project. Somebody kept picked up from the process flow. These are the ones who are actually working on the project, on in the operations team, in the production team, wherever we are working. So these are people who will be required for daily pre-shift meeting. Weekly, I'll say we are going to have a green belt. We will have it managers. We'll have it champion. So weekly meeting will just kind of connect, understand what's there. Feedback of some monthly meetings will simply have this. So feedback sessions. Who will be supposed to? Who will be like required? So like technically, whosoever needs to get a feedback. So you will kind of mention who will be part of that session. Anyone who has a who's supposed to get a feedback will be definitely part, but who will be taking care of the feedback? So the process manager. They don't roll up to you. They don't, or you don't, you're not the boss. You are just adding as a team member in the project. So process manager is going to look into it. Escalation, say, probably will have again the process manager look into it. Complaints, leave requests, this gentleman. New requirements, probably will have the champion, manager, green belt, everyone will come in because there's a new requirement, cost implications. You got to have every concerned person. So this is again, say champion, sponsored, and everyone. That's how we decide who is the audience for every activity. We all sit together, we all decide who will be required. Now, media, how you going to do this meeting, how this communication will be done. So A, we have got this communication, which some daily reports that will go via email, 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 project progress report, email, daily shift meeting. So this is group discussions, group meeting, post shift group meeting, weekly group meeting. Probably this is going to have virtual meeting. So we're going to have a Zoom conference like this or something like that. Feedback sessions. First, send me an email followed by a meeting. So bottom line, I will just kind of decide how these communications are supposed to be managed. You know, there's no more confusion in the end. Who was supposed to do, how it was supposed to be done, who all was supposed to be part of it. No confusions. Next, uh, who will do it? Who is the backup? What is the frequency? At what frequency? That's where it becomes sort of a little tricky. The frequency part is more important here. Who does it will define. So no more questions. Who was supposed to send this report? Who was supposed to initiate this meeting? Backup. What if this person is not available, falls sick, whatever? You should know who's the backup. No more last minute changes. You're not looking for last minute resources. No, you all know who is supposed to do it. Frequency. Now, daily reports. I do you want me to wait the entire day to receive the report? No, 3 p.m. every day. Weekly reports. Which day? Weekly frequency. No, doesn't make sense to me. Which day are we talking about? Okay, Tuesday. Well, okay. What time? Okay, well, it should be available by 1 p.m. Perfect. That makes sense. Monthly report. Well, what day? Last day of the month. And what time? Say 2 p.m. max. Okay, well, that makes sense to me when this report is supposed to be received. No more confusions. Don't come back and ask those silly questions. Who is supposed to send what? Let's get into the meetings. Daily meetings. Okay, well, what time? Okay, 9 a.m. in the morning. Where? Say meeting room one. Well, I need to block the meeting room. There you don't have enough meeting rooms. So bottom line, you got to make sure the blocking room reservation has to be done. You have to kind of block the meeting room accordingly. Pre-shift, well, post-shift, you got to have this done. So weekly meeting. Okay, well, what date we talking about? So every Wednesday we're going to have the meeting. Okay, where do you want to have the meeting? We'll have it in meeting room one. Again, say so. Somebody needs to this gentleman who will block the meeting room, the calendar, just to make sure that last minute people shouldn't be talking like, oh, how this meeting was supposed to happen, where I was not aware. No, we have decided well in the beginning who does what. No confusions. No confusions will be entertained. So frequency has to be looked into specifically. Now, once you decided the communication plan as a team, we all have sit together, decided, brainstormed. No changes can be done to communication plan. Now, is that rigid? No. We can. That's where the clause comes into picture. You don't want people to take this lightly. Otherwise, people will keep coming with the ad hoc request. Well, okay, can we shift this meeting for probably some time else? Like, what time is it? Well, I didn't write the time here. We're meeting room. What time? Well, 3 p.m. Well, can we shift it to 4 p.m.? No. Your calendar should have already been updated by this one. We can't. Simple as that. So bottom line, with no changes can be made when you have your communication plan agreed upon. That's how it is. Now, we are not that like we are rigid because we don't want people to take unnecessary advantage of this. Otherwise, there is people will keep changing it every day. So how do we change? Any addition, deletion, or modification of activities or communication basically can only be done via proper change management protocol method. And what is that? What is change? Proper written approval. No verbal requests are entertained. Okay, entertained. Great. Okay. Uh, Now, should you come back and weekly reports are supposed to go out on every Tuesday? Don't come back on Monday and ask for the report. Simple as that. You need extra report on Monday? Please be my guest. I don't have a problem. Please get me an approval. As simple as that. Get me a written approval. Convince the management why you need extra report on Monday when we already publish you on Tuesday. If you're able to convince them, well, I'll get my budget allocated, resources. Right now, sorry, that's how we are completely packed. There's no free resource for these additional services. That's how it is. Again, communication plan once finalized, yeah, we will do it, but get me an approval, a written one. No verbal request will be applied. That's how communication plan works. Anyone has questions, please.
So, one question here. Suppose like a daily and weekly, so there is a meeting flashing. Suppose in this report only you can see this daily report. There is a 3 p.m. daily and Wednesday, uh, 1 to 3 3 p.m. So the two meetings are clashing. So in the case of any clashing of a meeting or any clashing of
A
another,
lot of background noise is coming, sir. Unable to
yeah,
hear what he's saying.
Okay, so I probably got your point when you're saying if two. So while we're working out this, we will understand. I'm just trying to kind of add this thing, but this is what we are trying to finalize. We are trying to finalize it well in advance so that there are no conflicting meetings or something where we have a problem. So yes, we will look into it. So valid point. Yes, if this is the same time, that's also the same time. Then we will have to kind of. That's why we are trying to ensure we plan for this well in advance. So we will schedule this and we'll see to it if there are no conflicts, and that's how we plan and figure this out. This will be fixed, this will be frozen. Once you've done it, people will get a copy of this, that this is what we're supposed to do. So please update your calendars accordingly. Simple as that. So no more clashes. Somebody wants to book a new or set up a new time, we'll check your calendar, we'll see, well, sorry, this person is not available from this time to this time. So that's how it has to be done.
Okay, sir. Before we start, you said we're gonna start Cybook now. So where is Cybook fit in this calendar?
Cyproc we will be doing, like, so it's like it is going to be another activity which will be added on, which will link
Okay.
with your lean aspect. So
Right.
yeah, so this is related to
Sir, due to background noise, I'm not able to hear the question and unable to
uh,
understand your answer. Can you repeat again?
okay, here what I'm saying that uh, are we talking about the SIPOC or are you talking about this project, this one, the communication plan?
Somebody has asked question and you had replied, but we had not understand the
Okay.
question.
Okay. When we start our conversation, you said now we start Cybook. Then we start all this. So what's that got to do with Cybook? That's why I got confused.
Okay,
That was my question.
yeah. So SIPOC is we have parked this for now for tomorrow.
Right.
Let's see given the time, because I was trying to see because at this stage we have got the team ready. Now these activities are supposed to be completed after you got the team. Now we, like, given the time we have to, we will looking at what we can complete. So yes, we picked up the communication plan. That's what we discussed right now. We given the time we can look into RACI and the RASIC model right now, and like I think that will be all for today. Then tomorrow when we come back, we will talk about RACI and detail the process mapping part of it, because that is going to link with your lean part of it. So
All right.
we
Okay,
just
great.
yeah, we're just going ahead with the project management tools right now. So communication plan is what we discussed. Now we're going to get into the RACI or RASIC model. And there is one bad model. Well, say bad model. Why? Because which is Army. I would never ever recommend. Well, some people do use it. There is a reasoning for some people do use Army. I don't prefer. That's my personal preferences. But PMP, you see, are only RACI. Six Sigma professionals have modified RACI as RASIC with an extra S in here, with slight changes in the nomenclature also. So I'll give you the differences between both of them. And then you have an Army. Now I'll just explain Army. People have stopped using, most people don't use it, but if you hear about Army, better off stay away from that again. So but let me quickly give you idea of what Army model is. So we know this is also used for work delegation. You delegating work because you've got the team, you have to give responsibilities, who does what. You're not the one who's doing it, right? Somebody has to do the job. Everyone needs to get some task has to be assigned. So How that work will be done, it's going to be managed by these models. So army model, a bad one, but let's look at it. This is define phase, measure phase, analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase. We've got 5 different phases. That's what we're looking at. Now we have got people who are a part of the team, sponsor. We've got, say, champion. We've got the green belt. We've got, say, process manager. We've got other people also, like, say quality person, somebody from the quality, somebody from the training, somebody from, say, supervisor, and so on and so forth. Whosoever is the part of the project team, we got it here. Now, RB model, what it says, like, let's understand the acronym. RB model works on ARMI, stands for ARMI. A stands for approver, the person who will approve the task. R stands for responsible, or resource, actually, resource, who does it. M for member, and I for inform. Now, it's a bad model. Again, would like to reiterate that. Uh, what do we do here? It says, well, in the define phase, who is approves the task, like it's done correctly. I've checked it. Resource does it. The resource or responsible party does it. This is the person who will be supposed to complete the task. Member is the one who will help in the task, and I as an inform if somebody needs to be kept in loop. That's how. Let's understand how to fill it up. Define phase, we say, okay, well, who will do the job? Who will do the job? Okay, well, define phase, this gentleman will do the job, responsible. Uh, who is going to approve it? Okay, well, champion is going to approve it. Who will be the member? Okay, green belt will help. The responsible will be a member who knows something, some stuff about it. Member and sponsor also. So sponsor approves it, actually, and champion is also a member of this, probably. A sponsor gets informed. We just inform the champion sponsor, and they can be dual responsibility. Can be a member also. So this person
When
gets
we
informed.
say champion is the leader,
Yeah, the leader, technically, yes. The sponsor is the one who will fund it. Now we're given different responsibilities. You don't need to use inform every time. If you want to keep somebody informed, then you use inform. Measure phase, we see who is the best person who will complete the task. Well, we see the process owner again is the response, because this guy knows everyone. Start of data collection will be required. So you are the one who will do it. Uh,
green
who is
belt also.
so green belt will be the one who will be required as approver, because a lot of data stuff needs to be understood. So this person knows how it needs to be done. So he'll will be the one who will approve, well, the job is done correctly. We'll have some members from the supervisors will be members. They will help us in the data collection process. Champion is kept informed and about the entire process, and we can keep this person also informed about the process. Analysis, you become the responsible. You are the one who is doing it technically. Approver will be this. Process expert could be the become member, and probably that's all what we want to keep it. Similarly, you kind of give the responsibility. Forget about this one, honestly. Uh, we can give responsibilities like this, but the biggest challenge why it is a bad model is that it doesn't tell me who's supposed to, what activities is supposed to be done. Well, in the define phase, there are probably tons of activities. We've already been discussing so many activities. Do you think uh, this process owner knows everything that we were supposed to do in define phase? Have we, is the person actually capable to manage everything? Well, probably not. I have even, first of all, I have not even mentioned what activities is supposed to be completed. How come this guy knows, well, what all he's supposed to do? I have not discussed, I have not given the responsibility as task. Well, you are the responsible person. Well, how do you know? There are 15 tasks which needs to be completed. Probably 10 out of them, well, I am good. But 5, probably I don't know. I'm not good. Then what will happen? The project will take a hit. Measure phase, I'm the, gentleman becomes the responsible. Well, probably, yes, you have some knowledge, but you don't know everything about the measure phase. We haven't even discussed what activities, like, because this is broadly telling you are approved, you are responsible. That is not how it will work. Projects will fail. Why? Because people are not clear about what responsibilities they have to carry out in the project. There's no activities here. That's why. Refrain from it. let's come to the RACI and RACIC model. Given the time, we might just talk about the acronym RACI, RACI. Anyone tell me what does R stands for?
Response,
Responsibility.
Responsible or responsibility.
approver,
Not the approver.
Action owner.
Accountability.
okay.
See for consultant. Informed. That's how they use.
Okay.
RACIC, they use in Six Sigma. People have kind of converted this into our preferred version is RACIC. That's what we use. Responsible is the one. A for approval, you're right. S for support, inform, and consult. So very much similar to RACI with an extra S here, where the nomenclature has been changed from accountability to approval. Bottom line, what is the rules? Let's kind of talk about it. That's what we will be left with, I guess. Now, what do we do in MINITAB talking about RACIC? First of all, we list down all the activities. So this is the activity list. Here is define. So define what we are supposed to do. Okay, let's kind of briefly talk about this. We need to collect voice of customer. Okay, what is else we have to do? We have to classify VOC. We have to prioritize the VOC. We have to convert the CTQ, VOC to CTQ. So there are different stuff which we have done. We have to
And
write
VOB also, sir.
yeah, VOB and all that stuff. Yes, voice of business and all that. So technically, I'm just kind of listing all that activities. Project charter is what's supposed to be done.
No, I mean VOP, voice of people.
Yeah, so
that question came in the exam of the Yellow Belt.
Okay, so voice of customer and the voice of business and voice of process all gets together. So different ways of collecting. Yes, voice of process, voice of customer, voice of business. Okay, communication plan is all we talked about. We have this RACIC, which is what we're creating. We will be making a sidewalk. We'll be making a process map. There are a lot of activities. Now, first we'll list down all the activities which needs to be done as per RACI or RACIC model, whatever. Similarly, there will be a list of activities which you do in define, in measure phase, in analyze phase. So this is going to be a long, long document. So activity level breakdown is what we do. So we get to know who is supposed to complete this task. Simple as that. Now here is where we have all the list of people. Let's get them here. So undo duplication of work, get them here. Now,
so an activity we do process map.
Yeah, so we're not doing the process map. We're just giving the responsibility. So everyone is sitting in the room. We're trying to have the relevant stakeholders here. Everyone is here. We can discuss. First, we do is list down all activities at task level. So you've done that. Now you put them in right sequence as they're supposed to be done. So that's what we have kind of done. Sort of a sequence has been created. Now we just need to find the right candidate. Collecting voice of customer. Now, voice of customer probably will require some sort of interviews, communication. Somebody who is good at communication skills with good PR skills probably will be the right candidate to do this job. Well, let's have another gentleman who will involve in this project, HR person. You've got these different people in the project team. So what's my first thing next? Find out the most appropriate person who can deliver the task based on the skills required. So based on whatever task you're going to carry out, what task are you going to carry out? Okay, well, basis that, what is the skill set required? Okay, we understand what's the skill set required. The team is sitting together, brainstorming. We'll find out, okay, who is the most appropriate person? Well, see, HR seems to be the most, well, this guy agrees. Okay, well, yeah, I can do this. Unanimously, we all agree, well, the responsibility has been assigned to you. You will be the one who lead this. Your responsibility is to collect VOC. Okay, done. Classify VOC. Well, we would have given this responsibility to the quality person. You are the best one who deals with these quality tools. You can manage this stuff. When this guy gets you the data, please get this work done. Well, unanimously, we all agree this gentleman is the best one who can deal with the quality tools, use the VOC, affinity diagram, stuff like that. Prioritization, we can still involve this person, quality person. Let's kind of use it. Keep yourself free. It's important. You don't want to jump in everything wherever you can avoid it. VOC to CTQ, just get your process owner back here. So responsible party. Now that's where we'll add the definition. So what is R? R stands for responsible. Now responsible is the one who does the job, is the most suitable person to complete the given task. We have unanimously checked and this person has agreed for it. Keep this in mind. Thumb rule. Only one responsible per task. You don't want to mess around. A lot of cooks spoil the broth. We can't let that happen. Two people responsible. You feel you will do it. I feel I'm like somebody else will do it. It will never get done. We cannot afford delays in the project. One person is responsible and that person will complete the task. The questions are going to be asked from this person, this person, this person, whether the task has been completed or not. Mandatory. Every task must have a responsible. This is mandatory.
So we put only
Now,
responsible on this chart, sir, or the other risk, or the other things which you wrote up,
this one, the racy one,
or the right side, the risk. This one, the right side one, not the racy, the right
this
side.
one, this one.
No, the right of the racy one.
Right. Okay. The RASIC one, RASIC, right?
Yes,
We are updating this one. We're actually updating RASIC.
Okay, so you start only with R everywhere, and after you finish it, you start with
Yes,
A and S and
absolutely.
so on, like this,
Absolutely.
or one line you finish it up everything.
No. We just kind of getting done with first RNA because that's what is required to
Okay.
first block it. RNA. Just finish your R. Now, once
R,
you're done with
then
the
A, then till we finish the risk.
then we discuss as a team the job has been assigned. It's a maker and a checker process. So one person does it. It's a maker and checker process. So somebody does it and somebody else checks it. So responsible ones allocated. Well, we understand you are the responsible. When you will do the job, who will check and verify that you've done it correctly? Well, probably have the process owner. You will check and verify. Somebody has to be higher up in the management who will do the audit. Yes, so you can't have like probably a junior doing the audit for management. So quality person does the classification. You can be the approver. You can check and approve whether the job isn't done correctly or not, satisfactory or not. VOC prioritizing. Let's get the approver here. Again, the thumb rule. A is the approver or verifier. Well, this will person will check and verify if the job isn't done correctly. Again, thumb rule. Only one approver per task. And this is also mandatory. So every task must have one responsible approver. My RASIC is complete. Technically, yes. One person does it, another person checks and verifies, yes, it's been done correctly. Job done. Now, once you have RNA updated, that's when you go back to the entire team is ready. Like, do you need support? Well, can you do it on your own, collect VOC? No, it's a mammoth task. I have to conduct survey, I have to go to and conduct personal meetings. Well, I understand that's a big lot of things have to be done. Well, you need support. Well, you can get support. Well, you can take support. So this person asks for support, will be given support. These people will help and assist. Having said that, responsibility still lies with this person. So yes, well, classify VOC. Well, I do need support. Well, okay, you can ask for support. You get the support. You get a support. It's not a big deal. Prioritize VOC. Probably we need, say, HR person to be involved in the green belt also becomes a support. VOC to CTQ. Probably don't need support. Simple as that. Say approver is here and we don't need a support. It's not mandatory. Don't need to have support. Only if required, responsible will ask for it. If it's a small thing which I can do, I don't need a support, please let it be. If it's a big task, a lot of activities supposed to be done, like a VOC, a lot of things have to be done. I need help. Support will be assigned. I for inform. Inform is just like you mark a CC on an email. You would not mark everyone in the world for everything. No. If somebody needs to be kept in loop about that activity, that we are starting this activity. Okay, this is the status of this activity, and this is we have closed this activity. Somebody needs to be informed and kept in loop. That person will be marked as informed. Collecting VOC. Do you need to mark anyone? Practically not. Classification of VOC, do we need to keep anyone informed? Not a big deal. And it's not a like somebody needs to be kept in loop that we're classifying it. No. Prioritizing, probably yes, I would sort of because I would like to keep them informed about this activity, that we are selecting the project. We would like to keep them informed about this activity. G Greenbelt will be informed in this. So wherever you think there is a relevant stakeholder who needs to be kept in loop, that we have started it, this is the status of it. Every time whenever whatever is happening, this person needs to be kept in loop on the email or the conversation. This person will be completely in loop for that activity and when it gets closed. So if somebody needs to be kept in loop, we will kind of mark that aside, inform. And consult is again need basis. Responsible is the most appropriate person who will do the job. What if I get stuck? Well, I need some coaching, some counseling, some guidance. Who will be there? Consult. So I can block someone as a consult option. This person will not do anything. He's not a member. He will just give the guidance. So champion could be consult. What if I know, not in the VOC I would need, well, what if I need somebody to classify VOC or prioritize VOC? I need consult here. What if I get stuck in the prioritization part? Champion can help me with the consulting. I am blocking you well in advance as my consult. If needed, that's when I'll reach out to you. Again, are you not going to be doing that job for me, but I will reach out to you. I'm blocking you. If needed, I will get back to you. So you've been blocked for this particular activity as a consult. So RASIC model will help you ensure that you clear delegation of work, who's supposed to do what, who is supposed to check, who all will be the team member who will assist, who will be kept in loop, who is the like reserved consult option. Then you have a complete list of all activities. Just need to follow this, keep asking questions as per this chart, and your job will be done. You get these activities completed, your project is completed. You got to ask questions, get into habit of speaking, talking, asking questions. Most important thing is asking questions. That's how it works. So I hope RASIC is clear to everyone.
Yeah,
That's how the RACI also works. We don't have S. We don't mention support there. That's it. So when we come back tomorrow, we will be picking it up from SIPOC and process map. That's what we'll get started. But yeah, before you all move out, like just quickly sharing a couple of things before on the chat. Let me quickly share that. Or else, if you want, I'll have this emailed over to them, because I did give get this. Let me quickly put it here. Case studies, Six Sigma. That's what I said. I'll get this for the viability model, project prioritization model. Okay, I guess this is the one. This is the file that we're working on, Excel file. So shared both of them. Please click on it, attach to get the downloaded. I will anyways have this emailed to IMC team. They will in turn circulate with everyone in case you have not been able to do so. In case somebody is logged in with phone, then probably you will not be able to access it. So no, nothing to worry. I'll come back to you when IMC team does share. And having said that, I will share the link for you to download. Anyone who doesn't have the material here, I will have this link shared on the group so that you can download the material from there. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes, sir. Great.
Perfect.
Great.
Thanks, Satan. Thanks, Satan. Take good care of yourself. Let's catch up tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.